Well, that's all right. Just cost it. Put it all down.
And whatever piping you've got is all lead. It'll have to be replaced with copper, you know.
Listen, all I'm interested in is bright lights, dolly birds, and a good return on my money. You start telling me too much about your side of the job, and I might begin to wonder what's happening to all that valuable lead you'll be taking out.
Well, somebody's got to get shot of it, haven't they?
That's all right. I won't say anything. Just get me that estimate so I can get it to Yardley, will you?
You'll get it at the end of the week, mate.
End of today would be better.
You're in your element over this, aren't you?
Here, listen, I'll tell you what. Let's go and see the councillor, shall we? See if we can G him up. Come on, in.
No, I think that's all. I seem to live on less and less these days.
I wish we did.
Morning.
Morning.
What is it, Alf? Put tuppence on everything because it's a bank holiday?
No, I'm just open for the morning, that's all. Otherwise, I'd be dashing at door to say I wasn't. It's as broad as long.
Right,
Well, we just wondered if there was any news
about the
you.
planning?
Yeah, that's right.
You heard about this disco, Emily?
Pardon?
Oh, yeah. Mr. Baldwin and some of his mates are thinking of turning that old warehouse on Rosamond Street into a wine bar and disco, wasn't it?
Really?
I'm surprised you've not heard about it. Everybody else has.
I think Ken must have been making inquiries down at the town hall.
I'm damn sure he has, from what he was saying last night.
Oh, well, saves us telling everyone, doesn't it?
It saves you whispering in corners.
Oh, come on now. Who's been whispering? We're just going to take an old warehouse that no one knows what to do with, spend a fortune on it so people can enjoy themselves. Now, there's no law against that, is there?
Well, there might be. At least I hope so, if it's going to mean a dreadful noise every
come on,
night.
Emily. What do you mean dreadful noise? It's going to be soundproofed.
You're going to soundproof us houses and all?
Look, it's only in the planning stage. I mean, it'll all be discussed.
Not by us, it won't.
No, not by the people who are going to have to live with it.
Ah, well, he's got to live with it. He's got to live with it. Do you hear them complaining?
Oh, no, of course not.
I think you might find there are other people who will, though.
Oh, come on, Emily. We're going to make a wine bar and disco. We're not going to put cruise missiles in there.
No, and if it hadn't been for Ken finding out, none of us would have ever known anything about it, would we?
Anyway, there's no news from planning committee yet. Oh.
You can't say the same for the future around here.
Oh, dear, you started without me.
Aye, and we'll finish without you, no.
I'm not cut out for scrubbing floors.
Aye, you're not. Well, go and see who's trying to break through our front door, will you?
Hey, I'm not dressed.
But I dare say they are. Go on.
Oh, honestly. Do you know, I never thought anybody could get on my nerves like she does.
Oh, you'll be all right once you move down here and settle down.
Hang, wait!
Oh,
That's you, is it?
sounds like everything. It's a roll of carpet. I think it's for you.
Oh, I say. Oh, smashing.
Best quality Axeman stuff.
Oh, I'll bet.
Where did you get that from?
Got it, mate. Mates of mine. In the carpet trade. And a fraction of the market price. And that's the open air market.
Eddie, I said I wanted good stuff.
This is good stuff. Well, it's fairly good anyway. Look, there's no sense in getting carpet if it won't fit the house when we get one, is there?
Well, none that I can see anyway.
Oh, all right, then let's have a look at it.
There. See, it'll match the, well, it'll do for the time being anyway.
Go on, then.
Great.
Hey, it's a long time since a fella bought me a carpet.
Hey, I've got something else and all.
What?
You like it?
What?
2 chairs, dining room chairs.
Oh, Eddie, we said we were going to buy everything together.
I haven't bought these. No, they're superfluous to requirements, you know.
Oh, you mean all second-hand stuff you picked up on your bin round? No, I'm not having them, Eddie. I don't care what you say, I'm not.
Afternoon, Mrs. Walker.
I'm well aware what time of day it is, dear.
Oh, of course, yeah. Talking about time.
Were we?
No, I just wondered, did you notice what time Fred got in last night? I mean, did he disturb you again?
No, dear, I'm glad to say he was very considerate. Do you know he came in just a few minutes after we'd closed?
Here, that's it. What? Fred Face had an early night last night.
I bet it weren't of any of his choosing.
Well, we want someone taking off us rates, won't we? I mean, what with the noise and the car parking and all that?
Well, there's nothing definite yet, Hilda, is there?
It'll be too late when there is, won't it?
170, please, look.
Right, there we are. Thank you.
Cheers, Ken.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers from me and all. But I'll tell you something else. Stan's not too pleased with the idea.
Why, is he not keen on disco dancing, then?
Well, not at the top of his own street, no. And he doesn't see why other folks should be, neither.
Try it now. Try it, go on. Oh, that flaming thing.
Did you get anywhere nice last night? Another early morning job, Rick?
What's to do with you? Come on.
I seen her again this Maureen.
She coming in tonight, Maureen?
Look, what's to do with you two? Can't I have any private life at all? Can't I walk through that flipping door without being questioned by you two?
Poor Fred.
Oh, that flaming thing.
He doesn't seem right happy somehow.
Well, I'll be going then. But listen, what time are those people coming round to your house?
Why?
Because I want to know, that's why.
6 o'clock.
Oh, 6 o'clock?
Yeah.
Right, I'll see you then.
Oh, no.
Probably.
See, we got some folks coming to the call with our house, have you?
Oh, aye, but not at time she thinks.
Why not?
They're coming this afternoon, aren't they? Don't want her around, do I? Think bad at fixing and fitting. Never sell it then, would I?
Well, now, is everybody having a pleasant Easter?
Lovely, thank you, Mrs. Watt. We've even managed to get Tracy away to her mates for a couple of days.
Oh, that's a real holiday.
Yeah, well, we might as well enjoy a bit of peace and quiet while we can, seeing as it's not going to last much longer around here.
Why do you say that, Mrs. Ogden?
Oh, have you not heard that, Mrs. Walker?
Right, well, I'll be off. See you.
Bye.
What haven't I heard? Well, that there's going to be discotheques and winos and cars and all sorts all around these streets. Oh, you'll not get a wink of sleep, especially with you being at the end here.
Yeah.
Only me!
You know, everybody that comes in this house shouts it's only me. One of these days, a burglar will walk in here and shout it's only me, and nobody will take a blind bit of notice.
You want to stick that on the wall with a hook? Saves your arm getting tired.
Oh, remember that.
Hey, you know them chairs you weren't sure about?
Weren't sure?
Well, do you think you'd like to have a look at them to see if you want to make up your mind?
Eddie, I told you I wanted new.
Of course you did. But these have hardly been sat on. Yeah, look. Untouched by human derrieres.
I see. Chairs that have never been sat on.
Yeah, well, you see, the people at Adam, their religion said they had to sit on the floor.
Oh.
So what did they buy chairs for if they had to sit on the floor?
Well, when they bought them, they were Protestants, and then they got converted.
Oh,
Where did he get lost?
It's likely, isn't it?
It's all happening in here today, isn't it?
Hey, Suze, I don't suppose you got a use for a couple of chairs, have you?
Oh, these?
Yeah, because it looks like I'm going to have to chuck them on the fire, you know.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't mind. I mean, once she's moved her bed out, they'll fit in, won't they, Elsie?
Hey, give us a chance, Eddie. I haven't said definite yet, have I?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got the impression that you were
Yeah, but
interested.
that was before I saw them, wasn't it?
They're very nice, these are.
And I would like them.
Yeah.
Sorry, Suze. Looks like they're spoken for.
It doesn't worry me, you know.
I don't know who's the daftest in this house. I really don't.
Oh, hello. Mr. and Mrs. Cheetham, is it?
Yes.
That's right.
Oh, come in, then, come in.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, this is the hall, is this? And, well, it's obvious, isn't it? Front room. Shall we go to the living room? Hey, might as well start there as anywhere, eh?
Oh, thanks very much.
Come on, then, in you come. Here we are. Living room.
Oh, it's very nice.
Oh, that's you can get it nicer. I've been living on my own for a month or two, so I haven't that same incentive, you see.
No, I suppose not.
How many PowerPoints?
You what?
PowerPoints in this room.
Oh, plugs. Well, one there, I've one under there, and there's one for telly.
Oh, you have pigeons in your backyard.
Oh, I have a dozen out there. Why, do you like pigeons?
Oh, I used to, yeah. I had an uncle that kept them. Used to let me help him with them.
And it's central heating.
Right, it's not high.
There's one radiator in this room.
I had my grandson living up to a few months back. He used to help me with him, but well, he went to Australia with his dad.
Oh.
Ah, well.
Shall we move on then?
Yeah, aye. Front room, hey? After you, look.
All right, thank you.
We've got 4 PowerPoints in this room.
Have I?
Yeah.
Well, it can't be that, can it? I never used to.
Ken, you've got visitors. Come in, ladies. Sit yourselves down. It's not sitting upon anywhere. Yes, anywhere, mate.
Right. We all get together. Yes. Been a bit surprised.
Good afternoon, ladies. Good afternoon.
Bet you weren't expecting us, were you?
I can't honestly say I was, Hilda, no.
They're a deputation.
Ah.
Do you mind if I smoke, love?
No, carry on. There's an ashtray there. You know Mrs. Harper, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Of course he does. I remember him from school.
Oh, well, that's going back a bit.
Right, well, put the kettle on.
Well, we don't put you to any trouble.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say no to a couple if there's one going.
Right.
You must feel as though you're being invaded.
I hope we're not stopping you from doing any work.
Day off.
Oh, I know,
Oh, but somehow I always think that men have work to do, whether they're on holiday or not.
Ah, because you've never been wed, that's why.
Well, now, I think we should come to order, ladies, because after all, we have come here with a purpose.
We have.
And that's to put our feelings in front of Ken and ask for his advice.
Advice about what?
Well, first, let me say that we're not just speaking for ourselves. There are a great many people who feel as we do.
Yeah, we want this disco business stopping. Tell them to go and do their carryings on somewhere else. I mean, this is a respectable street and we don't want them.
Thank you, Mrs. Ogden.
Oh, we need someone who can put our case.
I live practically next door to that warehouse. I mean, there must be something we can do, surely.
Well, I'm sure there is, yes.
But surely, Ken, you can't be in favour of this awful development.
No. No, it'll be a pain in the neck, but I just wonder what you think I can do. I mean, you ladies are more than capable of standing up for yourselves.
Well, we are, and then again we're not.
It's just knowing what to do, like
Yes.
who we should go and talk to at the town hall or anywhere else.
We need someone who knows the procedures involved. I mean, if we don't know those, we can't even start.
Yeah, and you can't rely on councillors nowadays, can you? I mean, we all know that.
Ken, do you feel it's unwise to you become involved because you're employed by the council?
Well, I think we can leave them to worry about that. No, I'll help you all I can, why not? So if we don't want this blessed disco, and it would seem that most of us don't, then it's up to us to make sure that we don't get it.
Well, I think that's everything.
I think it's really nice and homely, I do.
Ah, well, I haven't quite got it as I'd like to, you know, because, well, I haven't been here long enough, you see.
Well, how long have you been here exactly?
Oh, not quite 9 months.
Isn't that a bit soon to be moving again?
Well, I've got these dicks to go to, you see, so...
There's no other reason. I mean, you had trouble with your neighbours, anything like that?
Brian!
Well, I have to ask.
Oh, no, there's not like that.
He said he's moving because his grandson's left.
Come in. No, you couldn't wish for better neighbours than I've got round here. You know, it's one reason I'll be sorry to be leaving for, is that?
Oh.
Next door. They're all right, are they?
Oh, either side. That side, Mrs. Tanner. A very respectable lady, you know, church-going, and this side, Fairclough's, well, I've never had a wrong word with them since the day I moved in.
Yes, that's right. Yes. So, we're against it on 3 counts. The noise it's going to make.
Yes.
The fact that there'll be cars lining every street.
Else they'll put down double yellows and we'll have that eyesore too.
Yes. And then there's the late hours that it's going to keep. You know, people leaving at 2 a.m., all that sort of...
It'd be like living in the same street with Sodom and Gomorrah.
And the first thing I'm going to do is to have a word with Alf Roberts, see what he knows about it.
Oh, he knows all about it.
Yeah, there'll be a few backhanders going round with something like this.
Mrs. Ogden, I do hope that you are not casting any aspersions in the direction of Mr. Roberts, who has served this community faithfully for many years.
I'm casting that.
Yeah, well, I think we should give him the benefit of the doubt until we've heard what he's got to say, anyway.
Yes.
Have you not been evacuated down here or something?
No, it's a meeting. It's about that new disco they're trying to open in Rosamond Street.
All right, I've heard about that. Well, I can't see that wrong with it myself.
Oh, surely, Mr. Tatlock. I mean, what about all the noise it's going to make?
You what?
Yes, the general inconvenience.
Oh, well, the only inconvenience it's causing me is you lot being here.
Would you like my chair, Mrs.
Take a chair. Come and sit yourself down.
Come on.
No, it's all right. I've got a room of my own that you go to.
Actually, I think we should all be going. We don't want to have to stay our way.
Don't let Uncle Albert drive you out. No. We've said all we came to say.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.
No, mate.
Bye, dear. Very much.
Right, so let's hope it served a purpose as well.
Yes.
Good. Okay, right. Bye-bye. Bye, ladies. Bye. Well,
Looks as if you got yourself a job.
it looks like it, yeah.
And, would I be right in why I think you're not keen on it?
Yeah.
Mike Baldwin. You think he'll see it as personal, you trying to get back at him?
Well, he's bound to, isn't he?
Well, he'd be wrong then, wouldn't he? I mean, that's not why you're doing it.
No. No, I'd be against turning that warehouse into a disco, no matter who was behind it.
Well, then?
I'd just rather it wasn't Baldwin, that's all.
Hey, now, how's that then?
I'm not sure whether I would rather have it over there.
You can have it any way you want as long as you don't want it back upstairs.
Can't leave it where it is.
Now, come here.
I've still got loads to do.
Come and sit down, have a rest. You've earned it. Come on.
Hey, I've just realised why you were so keen for me to come in here.
All right.
Well, when I was upstairs, it wasn't so easy to come in and say, hello, Elsie, I'm just going up to see Marion, was it?
I think Elsie would come up with me if I had.
But now that I'm downstairs.
No problem. Instead of being outside the chippy, we can be in here, doors closed, nobody the wiser. What?
Somebody's just come in.
Well, it'd be Elsie or Susie.
They've gone into the living room.
Well, they would do, they live here. Now come here, never mind what they're doing.
But they could have come in here, couldn't they? Anybody could. They've all got to go past that door.
And there's no lock on the door.
No.
So what we need is a bolt, right? Never mind, the shops are shut. I will get us one bolt.
Hey, you don't think Elsie will mind, do you? I mean, it is her door.
It'll add to the value of the property.
All right, hold your horses.
Oh, Ken, promise I don't want to buy anything.
Yeah, well, come on in before somebody arrives at the doors. Do you know, I think folk around here either can't read or think I'm joking when I say I'm closed. Anyway, come on through.
Well, it's not exactly a social visit.
Oh, nothing wrong with Deirdre, is there?
No. Except that, like me and a lot of other people, she's not very happy about this idea to turn the Rosamond Street warehouse into some kind of disco.
Ah.
And since you're our local councillor...
Yeah, well,
besides which, I believe that you've known about it for longer than most of us anyway.
Well, Mike Baldwin did have a word with me, as a matter of fact.
More than just a word, from what I hear.
Yeah, well, he wanted to know what I thought the local reaction would be, you know, that sort of thing.
Good, well, you'll be able to tell him then, won't you? It's against it. Dead against it.
Just hold on a minute, Ken. Not everybody thinks that way, you know.
No?
No, there's some people think it might be a good thing. It could be beneficial.
Len Fairclough, for example.
I think you'll find he's all for it.
Yeah, but I'm sure he will. He's going to make money out of it, isn't he? He's going to be working on the conversion.
Yeah, well, I think that's
there'll be a lot of people for it and can see something in it for themselves, but I take it was a good night out that Baldwin treated you to.
What's that supposed to mean?
Just what I was wondering.
Well, he's not got me in my pocket, if that's what you're insinuating.
I'm very glad to hear it.
Listen, there's bigger interest than him involved in this. He was just sorting a couple of things out, that's all. Anyway, he's got as much right to come and talk to me about it as you have.
And so what did you tell him?
What?
Oh, when he took you out and asked for your opinion, what did you tell him?
Well, I told him I thought I couldn't see anything against it. I mean, that was my honest opinion, and that's what I told him.
Yes, I suppose you could say there wasn't any local opposition then.
There wasn't?
No, of course there wasn't. It was a well-kept secret, wasn't it? But now that the cat is out of the bag, let me assure you that there is opposition, and a hell of a lot of it.
Oh, right.
So, are you going to represent us on this or not?
Well, I still have my own opinion, you know.
Oh, sure.
Look, I think it would be a good thing. I mean, I honestly do.
So you're not going to represent us then?
Well, no. I mean, not to oppose him, no.
Thank you.
What a surprise. Come in.
I thought I'd come and help you get the place ship-shape before they come.
All right, very good on you.
Hey, you'll have to get a move on with your tea so we can get pots washed and dried before they come.
No need.
What do you mean, no need? We know you keep this place like a tip, but you don't want them to.
They've been. They came this afternoon. They've gone to think about they're coming back tomorrow.
Did you know they were coming this afternoon? Did you tell me wrong time on purpose?
Look, I don't know row about it. They've been and they've gone, and that's all there is to it.
What do you think I'd said to him, eh?
Oh, note.
I know it's your house. Well, you were Bob's. I can't sell out if you've a mind to sell it.
No, but you'd like to, wouldn't you? And I know why. You can't stand thought of me moving in with Alice Kirby, can you? Even it's all above board. I know you.
You don't.
You'd rather I couldn't sell this house, wouldn't you?
I wouldn't, shall I tell you why? Because while you've got this house, there's a chance, just a chance, that Bob and our Craig will come back. But if you let it go, we'll never see him again, either of us.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
I thought of nothing else.
Oh, sit down, have a cup of tea.
Oh, it's you coming. We're having a bit of a celebration. You wouldn't say no to a drink, would you?
Well, actually,
yes, she's in there. Go in. I'll get you a can.
Hey, well done, our kid.
Thanks.
Come here. There's the finishing touch.
What?
1 bolt, 6 screws, second-hand screwdriver. Give me 2 minutes, I'll have this place watertight.
Here we are. And don't say I'll never give you an out.
What else?
Well, here we are. And in a minute, I think you're going to have a visit from a little waif and stray.
Oh, this is where you've all got to then, is it?
Yeah, what did I tell you?
Come in if you like. Oh, ta.
Hey, bye. I don't think this room has had so many people in it since our Linda and Dennis were at home.
What's that?
Oh, it's just something Eddie bought for me.
Only I wasn't expecting the gathering of the clans, you know.
Well, I'm going to give you a toast. God bless this room and know what's going to live in it.
Cheers, Elsie.
Cheers, love.
Cheers, Else.
Yes,
A pint of bitter and a lager, please.
Okay, my love.
Evening.
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 Did you get to see Alf Roberts then?
I did, Hilda, yes.
We've been to see E.T. as well.
Who's he? Is he on council?
No, it's a film, Hilda. We've been to the pictures.
Oh, that thing with the long neck.
That's 86, please, love. Thank you.
What about him with the short neck then, Alf Roberts?
Well, he wasn't very impressed by our arguments, Hilda.
Surprise, surprise.
Oh. Well, what do we do now then?
Oh, we're not beaten yet, Hilda, don't worry. I'll buy a long short.
But I was just wondering if you and Elsie and,
Susie.
That's right, Susie. I was wondering if you could just spare me a few minutes. I'm collecting signatures against the new disco. Ken's pressed me into service.
Yeah, come on in. Elsie, Susie, you're wanted. Go on in.
Thank you. I know it's not the best of times. Everybody's trying to get off to work.
Oh, we're not all that pushed. Where do you want me to sign?
Oh, well, that's kind. Just here, if you're sure.
Oh, I'm sure I don't want car doors banging outside my bedroom window all hours God sends.
And I'm afraid that that's what you'd get.
Hello,
you.
love.
Hello. Oh, good.
What do you want?
I've got you both. I'm collecting signatures. Ken asked me if I'd organise a petition against the disco on Rosamond Street.
Come here, give it here. I'll sign any fit me.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that'll impress him.
Thank you. I don't think they'll really believe that Princess Anne just happened to be walking down the street.
No, but a giggle though, isn't it?
Not exactly, no. If you wouldn't mind just signing properly.
That's if you can do anything properly.
I can look for a job properly, can't I? And if they open up over there, there might be one for me, so I'd be daft, wouldn't I?
Well, it's entirely up to you. Elsie?
Well, can I think about it? It's not that I'm being funny, but I do see both sides, you know.
I didn't know there were two sides.
Well, I know the disadvantages, but, you know, it could brighten it up very much round here, and God knows it needs it.
Oh, it'd brighten it up all right. There'd be headlights shining through the windows all hours of the night.
Well, there you are, you see. Save on your electricity bill.
Well, if you do decide to sign, you know where I am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure,
Bye.
Sure. You're a rotten pair. Oh, heck, rotten. It's all right for you to talk. You've got a job. But you're not being that clever either. If it's a posh disco they open, think of all the flowers they might need.
Yes, she's right, you know. An out would be an improvement round here anyway.
Well, it'd just suit us. It's just what we were looking for, isn't it, love?
It is, yeah.
Hey, it's all that. You know, it's a bit of a backwater, but it's quiet like, and it's handy for shops.
Oh, yeah, it is.
As soon as I were going to have a baby, well, the wife is like.
Well, exactly. She don't go traipsing miles for a loaf of bread.
Well, like I said, there's a fair bit needs doing to the place. But there was something else we were wondering about, weren't we, love?
Yeah, we were. We were wondering.
Oh, how do?
This is Mr. and Mrs. Cheatham. They've come about the house.
Yeah, I guessed as much. I thought that's who you'd be.
And we're having a little talk, you know.
Oh, quite right. I mean, it's a very big decision, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, well, what we were wondering about was the curtains and the carpets.
And the light fittings.
Oh, yeah, and the light fittings. Are they included in the price?
Well,
Didn't you say they were extras? The curtains and the carpets and that? Only, I seem to think that you thought that they were going to be, I mean, it could be negotiated at a price, you know.
Well, I was thinking leaving the curtains and carpets, you know, electric fittings and stove. Well, I don't mind leaving that and all, if we can come to an agreeable price on them, you know.
Oh, very generous, that. Very generous. Leaving the carpets and curtains. Personally, I think he's a bit of a mug myself.
Look, I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to be fair, you know. They're trying to want to buy a house. I take it you don't want to buy the house, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
Well, we're thinking about it very seriously indeed. We've got to write one or two others, but I'm not saying that this isn't favourite.
I'm quite right too, Squire. You'll be very happy here, and speaking as one of your neighbours, we'll be just as happy to have you. I only live a couple of doors down the road, you know.
Really? Right. Well, we'll go and work out our money and we'll get back to you.
Yes, all right.
Carpets and curtains included, and we'll talk about the other things.
Yeah, that's right.
OK, then.
Yeah, I'll see you when you come back, eh? Ta-ra, love. Just what flaming game do you think you're playing at?
What do you mean, what game am I playing at? I'm helping you get rid of the place, aren't I?
Helping me get rid? Telling them you're a next-door neighbour. Come on, lad, one thing or other.
We could make it really nice.
No danger. We'd soon put this place to rights.
Yeah, and price is reasonable.
Now, don't let's rush into it. It's a buyer's market.
But we don't want to miss it. I mean, it won't be long before there's 3 of us. We don't want to take a baby back to that flat.
I know, love, I know. But I reckon if we play our cards right, he'll throw the light fittings in for that price, and the cooker like as not.
You never know. Somebody might just come round and...
Flippin' heck. Oh, we don't get that row every day.
It'll only be for a couple of minutes at dinner. It'll be quite in festive time.
Do you want the house, love?
Yeah.
Then you shall have it. Come on, let's go and get some dinner.
All right, Fred.
Why?
Don't jump down my throat. I'm only asking if you're all right.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Oh, great. Only I've got this girlfriend coming to see me tonight. I was wondering if you'd give her a lift or...
Well, where's she live?
Park Road.
Park Road down bottom end of Inkerman Street?
Park Road, Bournemouth, actually. But knowing what you're like for giving young ladies lifts home.
Very funny, Lynch.
Not bad, were it, love?
Anybody serving? Please, please. I wouldn't want you to spoil your day, love.
Bettina, you're a good one.
Yes, love. Could I have similar, please? You certainly could. I didn't expect to see you here, lovey. I've heard you've moved farther afield. Council bungalow, isn't it?
Aye, I didn't know anybody round there. I think you tend to come back to your old haunts.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
I used to live in Crumsell. Do you meant that big estate they built after the war? Langley Estate, down Middleton way.
Oh, yeah.
They all moved there from round us. Iron Pub gave them a right good send-off. We never thought we'd see them again. Following Saturday night, they were all back. You couldn't stop them. Must have cost a fortune in bus fares.
Well, nothing like the old faces.
There's nothing like it, and that's a fact. Have you ever seen out so miserable?
What's up, Albert?
Why should there be something up?
Well, I just thought you looked a bit on the sour side, lovey.
You never looked out else, do you?
You'd look sour if you'd been kicked out of half and home, like I have. Bunch of blooming old women.
What's going on?
Well, there was a protest meeting about this disco. So rather they built this flipping front room.
Oh, they've a big enough paying neck at front room already.
Thought that's where he slept.
That's what I'm saying. Cheers.
I got as far as Albert Road and Meadow Avenue, but no one was interested. They all said it was too far away to bother. Wouldn't mind, but they're only just behind where I live.
Well, did you explain about the car parking?
Oh, I did. I told them. I said, wait till it starts, you'll see. There'll be cars parked all around the neighbourhood because there's nowhere else for them to go. We can't talk to some people.
Oh, it's very difficult. Oh.
What do you think?
It says it all.
Yeah, I decided big was beautiful. I mean, people won't read yards of small print.
Well, I wouldn't give them posters if I had my way. Give them a good hiding, make them see sense.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Where are you going to put it?
Well, for once, I thought I might be cheeky.
It had a picture of a mountain on it and a goat, I think.
A tin of rice pudding with a mountain on it.
Yes, and a goat. I don't know why, but I'm sure there was one.
Yeah, I won't keep you a minute, ladies.
Sorry.
Morning, Alf.
All right.
Can I stick a poster in your window?
Yes, I help yourself.
What is it?
You cheeky devil.
My sentiments exactly.
Oh, plastic.
Should you be doing it like that?
Listen, I'll have you know, I have painted hundreds of doors for Their Majesty, and it's imprinted on me brain. Upper panel mouldings, panels, vertical bars, lower panel mouldings, panels, bottom bar, centre bar, top bar, edge of hinge style, top frame and side frame. Now say you're sorry.
Sorry.
Right. Hang on. Was there something you want?
Does there have to be? I own the joint. Oh, blimey, that paint and a half smell. You want to keep the door closed?
We're trying to, but people keep coming in.
That isn't the stuff you used on Illa's front door, is it? The stuff you ran out of halfway.
That came off the tip.
Isn't everything you got off the tip?
Listen, this happens to have come from a reputable paint shop on account that nothing is too good for my lady here.
Oh, how is it she got you then?
Oh, Elsie!
Keep the door closed, love, will you? Oh, way up.
Oh, what's that, Paul?
It is paint, love.
Oh, yeah. Is it wet?
Oh.
It's wet.
Oh, God.
Do you have to live in a loony bin?
Oh, I think you're supposed to sign only your own name, Mrs. Ogden. I'm not sure that isn't forgery.
Well, I always sign for Stan.
But is he against the disco?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he said so, has he?
Well, he's not actually said so, no, but if I say he is, then he is. And might I just say, I think you're doing a marvellous job. Oh, they need somebody to show them up. I mean, them what stand to make a lot of money while we're tossing and turning in us beds. Like a few couple I could mention only a few doors off. Oh, yeah, both of them working, plumbing business and a newsagent shop. But are they satisfied? Are they heckers like? No, as long as they can put a few more quid in their pockets, it's beggar your neighbour with them.
What time's he coming?
Any minute now. He was meeting the others at 12 o'clock and it wouldn't take them long to make up their mind, would it? I gather there's only 3 tenders gone in for the plumbing.
What are your chances?
I'll soon know. How do we? You're in.
Great.
What are you going to have?
Well, it's worth a scotch, would you say?
Betty, give us a large scotch, will you, and fill these up again.
OK, my love.
Cause for celebration. In a modest way, Mrs. Walker. We're not exactly shouting from the rooftops.
I'm sure you're not. Some activities are best kept quiet.
Now, Annie.
Mrs. Walker, come what may, we're going to open that disco. Now, why don't you save yourself a lot of aggravation and give in gracefully?
Mr. Baldwin, I can do most things gracefully, but giving in is not one of them.
Pardon me, but I can't see what else you can do.
Really? Well, then you've a lot to learn. Excuse me.
Now you've done it.
I am home.
Now you've got a mad up. And may the Lord have mercy on your soul.
Look at that. Not a tremor. Here's to success.
And what is it? Confusion to our enemies?
Oh, I'd drink to that.
Newton Rudlis, could I speak to Mr. Cresswell, please? I'm Walker of the Rover's Return. Hello, Douglas. Yes, I'm very well, thank you. Now, I'm not going to keep you on the telephone because I know you're terribly busy, but I just wondered, could you spare me 10 minutes of your time this afternoon? Fine. I'll see you then. It's just a little problem that I think you can help me with. Lovely. Thank you. I've come for the pies, Mrs. Walker. In the kitchen. Good news? Yes, I think you could say so. I have called up reinforcements. If there is to be a war, then let us make sure that the biggest guns are on our side. That's a word.
Here you are, then. I'm thinking I want it back when you're done with it.
Don't worry, you'll get it back. One second-hand jar of tape subs. You've washed a few brushes out in that, haven't you?
You don't use that stuff once and then chuck it away, do you?
Well, you don't, and that's a fact. Hey, how'd you get on with Romeo and Juliet? Are they buying the house, in spite of the fact that I'm a neighbour?
Well, they've had a look round, all round, and they're coming back later on.
Oh, yeah, they'll probably make you an offer.
Yeah.
How much are you asking, 10.5?
Aye, 10 if I've got to. Come down further than that if it's necessary.
Best of British, mate.
Aye.
Oh, how do? Hey, Chalky! The man with the money! Don't worry, you're on a good thing here, Squire.
Ah, your friend let me in.
Aye, so I heard. Come in. Did you have a good dinner then?
Yes, thanks, yeah.
Ah, good.
Well, we thought it over and 10,500, you said, including carpets and curtains.
Aye, that's right. Sit down.
Well, we're willing to pay the price.
Yeah?
If you'll include the light fittings and the cooker.
Aye, Jove. You try a hard bargain.
Well, you've got to, haven't you?
Aye, well, go on then, it's a deal, eh?
Right. I'll get on to my sister first thing in the morning.
Lovely, that's fine, yes,
Oh,
okay.
and I was wondering, could I bring my wife back tonight? Only she gets a bit tired in the afternoon, you know, or should they come with me now? It's just to measure up. She wants new curtains in the front. The rest are fine.
Aye, that'll be fine, great, great. Can you make it before 7?
About 1:45.
That's fine, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And I hope you're very happy.
Right, thanks very much indeed.
Okay, all right.
Ciao now.
See you soon. Ta-da.
Yes, and I'm glad I don't live in this street, I can tell you.
Get away, a few cars never hurt nobody.
It's not the cars, it's the folks that drive them. And them has pinched money to buy them. I know, I've had some of that.
Oh, them are kids, what mug you?
What going to discos? Kids!
Disco?
Yeah.
They haven't built it yet. For all them two over there, they're counting the flaming chickens.
That's true. Maggie Thatcher's a cub mistress compared to our Annie when she got a war paint on.
She isn't a war paint. We must get the biggest guns on our side. Who's she talking about?
Obvious, innit? Esther Ranson, Jimmy Young and Terry Wogan.
Give over. I know where she's gone. She's gone to see her mole in the brewery. Bet your bottom dollar on it.
What's that about the brewery, Fred?
It's confidential, Squire.
Yeah, there's a lot of it about. Right, I'll have a large scotch and a pint and a packet of my cigars.
We've
please.
run out.
Oh, that's charming, isn't it? Are you off out, Mrs. Walker?
Yes, I'm off to enlist a little support for a worthy cause.
Well, I wouldn't bother going down to town hall. We've bribed them all down there.
I shouldn't be at all surprised.
Well, where are you going? Perhaps I can save you the trip.
I doubt it, Mr. Baldwin, but thank you very much for the kind thought.
Got something up your sleeve, you, haven't you?
Me? Not even so much as a tattoo.
Ah.
Well, he's got one of them allergies.
Allergies?
Yeah, eggs brings him out in a rash.
Oh, I don't know.
Go on, give us a big tin of spaghetti. Do you know, we cancel each other out, me and Stan. He gets bigger and I'm wedding myself to a flipping shadow.
Do you know, it must be like painting the fourth bridge trying to keep Stan's belly stoked up with food.
Hi. Give us a packet of our cigars, will you? Then go and look at that poster on your door. Yeah. Yeah, you can laugh.
Look at what?
The poster on the door. Go and look at it.
Well, what's it say?
Well, if you go and look, you'll find out, won't you? Clever lad, that husband of yours.
All fair in love and war.
I thought that was my line.
I didn't know it said that. I thought it was just one of his night school posters.
Yeah, well, you'll have to take it down, won't you? You'll look a right Charlie back in a disco with that on the door, won't you?
I'll have to take it down, love.
Oh, don't look at me. I didn't put it up.
You would have, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would have.
Shut up, Fred. They're a good lad.
Give over. What about your legs?
That's a thing. Sheer perfection.
Yeah. Oh, hello, Mrs. Walker.
Mrs. Walker, what's the matter?
I suppose you should all know. After all, you are involved, or will be when we close down for lack of custom. I have just spent the most humiliating hour of my life, and with a man whom I thought was my friend and my benefactor. I've been to the brewery.
Well, we thought you had, Mrs. Walker.
Yes, I expect you did. I went to ask them to intervene to prevent this scandal being erected across the road.
What did they say?
You might well ask. They refused to intervene for the very good reason that they are backing this venture, as they choose to call it.
Backing it? You mean Baldwin? Well, the crafty devil.
I can think of other words for him.
Well, I don't get it.
Oh, come on, Betty, use your common. They knew they get aggro from Newton and Ridley's, so to get them on their side, they're providing the drinks and that.
Yeah.
And not only that. Apparently, the brewery are providing all the bar fittings free of charge, from what I could gather, and a lot of the furniture. Apparently, Mr. Yardley is the guiding spirit behind this monstrosity.
This brewery thing has got a touch of the Baldwins about it, though.
I'm inclined to agree with you.
Well, I think it's daft. Two Newton and Ridley places facing one another.
Only tell the knuckles down, cock. Right, Fred. Who's the expert on social security?
I'm sorry, I didn't know you'd company.
This is Mrs. Pierce. She's my son's mother-in-law, if you can work it out.
Oh, I see, yeah. How do you do? Our name's Cheatham.
Oh, I've heard about you.
Well, we won't keep you long if you're busy. Only you did say as you just show us your last rates bill.
Oh, I did, didn't I? It's upstairs. I'll get it for you.
So you're taking place then, are you?
Well, we hope to.
Say what you like, but your youngsters have more courage than we'd ever have.
Sorry?
Well, we wouldn't have brought our kids up in the atmosphere that's going to be round here. This disco they're building at top of Rosamond Street. Car doors banging all hours, hooligans all over the place, drunks. Still, you don't mind when you're young, do you?
Mr. Wiley said nothing about a disco.
Didn't he? Well, it's not definite. Mind, it will be.
This lady's just been telling us about the disco they're building. Well, I think perhaps we'd better think it over again.
Right, Bill?
We'll think it over again. We'll see ourselves out. Come on, look.
You're a conniving so-and-so.
Me? I wasn't playing it close to the chest. You heard me. Tell me where you're going and perhaps I can save you the trip. I mean, you were standing next to her.
You knew damn well she were going to brewery.
I'm not in the guessing game, darling.
She's found out then, eh?
I'll say she has. The hard way.
It happens to all of us.
Still, you still love us, don't you, Hilda?
Oh, not when it comes to putting up places of ill repute, I don't know.
Oh, what a shame. Because when we open, I was going to need a couple of cloakroom ladies. Your name was high on the list. Still, if that's the way you feel.
Excuse me, but I've been having a little think, and, well, me and Stan would like us names taken off the petition.
Oh, dear. I am sorry to hear that, Mrs. Ogden. I saw you as one of our stronger supporters. I was very impressed by what you said about money being more important to some people than the community they lived in.
Yeah, well, I'd rather not divulge my reasons.
Well, if that's what you want. But if you change your mind again...
Oh, I'll come right back. Thank you very much. What did he say?
Who?
Well, you know very well who I'm talking about, Victor.
Victor? Oh, Victor. Oh, well, he just phoned up and he said, would you be working on your birthday? And I said you would, and he said he'd call in and see you. He's got a surprise for you.
Why didn't you tell me sooner?
Mavis, ever so Mavis. If I'd come running to you all breathless, you'd have said, there's no need to rush. Not important. Anyway, you ain't the sight of being reminded of your birthday.
Evening.
Hi. Evening. Hello.
Telling him the good news, are you?
Oh, we'll just have to fight all the harder.
Well, let's hope you're fighting for the right reason.
I'm fighting for a lot of people who don't want your disco. I don't need to fight for anything else.
Well, this one, you'll lose.
Good morning. Good morning.
Oh, you've been sighing again, haven't you?
No.
Yes, you have. Your face is all crumpled, like a balloon with no air in it.
I've not been sighing.
Give us a smile. Not as if you're 60 today, is it? You're only 50.
Why, I'm not. I'm 46.
Of course you are, I'm sorry. Close your eyes.
Oh, Rita, do we have to play these silly games?
Yes, we do. Now, come on, close your eyes. There. Well, stick your hand out.
What's that to close my eyes for when it's all wrapped up?
Mavis, enter into the spirit of the thing or I'll clock you on. Open your card first. It's funny, Mavis. In fact, it's hysterically funny. I've been laughing over it ever since I bought it.
Right, it's funny.
Open your present, for God's sake.
Oh, look, Rita, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not ungrateful. Well, it's just that, I don't know, the year gone by, and I mean, it's my life withering on the vine, and, well, I've just nothing in prospect, have I? Well, it's just very hard to be full of the joys of spring now. You don't know what it's like. I mean, I just find it very, very hard. Oh, oh, Rita, it's a little Harriet. Oh, that's lovely, really lovely. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Fairclough.
Oh, don't start blubbing. You'll set me off. I'm going to start buying new presents if you keep filling up like a teapot every time. I'll get it.
Oh.
Rita Fairclough, cabin. Who? Oh, yeah. Just a minute, I'll get her. Hey, it's Victor for you.
Oh, he wants to speak to me.
Of course he does. He's not testing telephone, is he?
Hello, Mavis speaking. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, I'm working today as usual. Yes, I'll be here at 12. Oh, really? Well, I'll look forward to it then. Bye. Bye, Victor. He ran to wish me happy birthday. Fancy? It's coming round at dinner time. See? Got a surprise for me.
Surprising. Oh, well, you might end up with a gleam in your eye before the day's out after all. Oh, Rita.
Hello, Mr. Fairclough.
Well, if it isn't young Royal, fix it.
I brought your glass cutter back.
How do you get on with it?
Great. I did it just like he said.
No other way to do it, is there? So, your mum's got a new window in her back door, has she?
Yeah. She can watch birds on shed roof now. She likes them.
You haven't ruined that cutter, have you?
It's just like you lent it me.
Because I don't like lending my tools out usually, you know. No tradesman does.
I wouldn't.
Doesn't seem to bother you about borrowing mine all the time. You haven't started rebuilding your house from scratch, have you? Seems like it. 18 Carlisle Street. It's a good job I checked. I'd be putting a new bog in number 14.
Mr. Fairclough.
What?
Our backyard wall's falling down.
So?
Brick's loose at the top. One of the brother keeps climbing over, you know, to get his ball back from next door.
Don't tell me you want to have a bash at it yourself, for you've got no gear.
No.
All right, come on. I've got a trowel in the van.
You couldn't let me have a bit of mortar as well, could you?
I might as well do the flipping job myself.
I don't want you doing that, Mr. Fairclough. I'd have nothing to do then, would I?
So what did Ken say to the Gazette, you know?
That he's against it. What else did you expect him to say?
I expect he made the best of it. Thought of as many objections as he could.
Well, I should hope he did. I mean, if he's got the chance to tell the old town what a scandal this flipping disco is, then he'd be a fool not to take it.
Scandal? Who said it's a scandal?
I do. I mean, if you and your mates had any thought for the people living round here, you wouldn't even be considering building a disco at the end of the street.
I'm not considering nothing. It's got nothing to do with me. It's Mike Baldwin and his cronies.
Well, aren't you one of his cronies? You've discussed it with him often enough, I've heard you.
Ah, once. Well, twice at most.
Well, you are on the council, Alf, and it's the council who'll have to give their permission finally.
Yes, but not me personally. It's the planning committee, isn't it?
Hey, have you got any pound cakes ready, kid? How about corned beef? Give us a couple of corned beef, kid. I've looked too late to have any breakfast. You know, I'm weak with hunger, kid. Do you have just seen your husband sticking a poster up outside at disco? Well, what's gonna be disco, you know? What did it say now? Well, it's on to my tongue. Do you know where my memory's going? It says SOS, save our sleep, no disco here. I know because I thought of it, the SOS bit. Aren't I clever? Hey, listen, we want a disco, don't we, Alf? We'll be there doing us thing together. So listen, just remember, use your influence, cock.
Look, how many times do I have to say this? I have no influence. Now, have you got that, Vera? You can't understand plain English, can you?
I don't think so, Emily. An anti-disco poster in here would be like a red rag to a bull to Len. He's for it. I wonder if he'd be for it if he didn't have a financial interest in it. Now, Emily, don't be catty. Don't suit you. Sorry, but I do feel so strongly. Anyway, I really came in to see Mavis. I've got her a little something for her birthday. Oh, well, she's upstairs making herself beautiful for Victor. Oh, I didn't realise he was still in the picture. Oh, yes, he keeps flitting in and out. Only in his case, it's more like rushing. That fella's a human draft. Oh, well, I won't bother her now. I'll pop in again later. Mustn't get in the way of romance. Maybe it'd kill you if you did, present or not. Yes, bye. Bye, love.
Hello, Emily.
Oh, hello.
Lovely day, isn't it? You always hear the sap rising.
Yes.
That's the spirit. Well, where's the birthday girl?
Upstairs, awaiting your pleasure. Now, can
All
I
right, if I go.
rephrase? Yeah, just a minute, Victor, come here. What's the surprise?
The whole of life is a surprise, Rita. When you live it to the full.
I wonder if I should throw myself between.
Isn't she pretty, Harriet? She can be your little friend, can't she? Now, what should we call her? Do you know, I always wanted to have a friend called Bunty. Do you like that? Harriet and Bunty. But...
Happy birthday, dear Mavis. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you very much.
You know, you're very lucky, Mavis.
I am, why?
Having a birthday in the spring of the year. A renewal for nature, a renewal for you.
Oh, some people might call it a reversal.
Well, you don't, do you?
No, of course not.
Positive thinking, Mavis. Eyes firmly on the horizon, clear and bright.
Yes, Victor.
Which brings me to the particular horizon in question. Now, what do you do when the buds are budding?
Oh, no idea.
You go out into the hills and dales.
Oh, you do?
We're going camping, Mavis.
Camping?
The first holiday of the year. Goodbye, sour winter. Hail, sweet spring.
Where are we going camping?
The lakes, where else? Daffodils, Mavis. The delicate green of the larch. It's the first to show. Long before anything else.
I've never been camping before, Victor. Isn't it a bit late in the day to start?
Weren't you in the guides?
No. No, I was only ever in the brownies because, well, I kept getting cold because I kept getting my feet all wet going on the nature walk. So my mother told Brown Owl that I had to stop going after 6 months.
I was a Rover Scout, so I should know the ropes, shouldn't I? A joke, Mavis. Camping, guy ropes. Anyway, everything's fixed. Friday, we're off.
Friday?
Yes, out into the wild green yonder. Well, I must go. Things to do, plans to make.
Victor, I mean, I've got nothing to wear. Anyway, what about all the equipment?
Don't worry, I'll organise all that.
Oh, Victor!
Tra.
Oh, allow me.
Hey, that were quick.
A job done quickly, Rita, leaves room for another job. Bye.
Why is he always in such a god almighty rush? Staley's always in a rush, isn't he? Mavis?
He's taking me camping.
Eh?
He's taking me camping. We're going camping, Victor and me, in the lakes.
Oh. Were that surprised?
Yes?
Oh. Well, it's better than nothing. Only just.
He says the larch will be showing.
Well, listen, why don't we take a villa together? There's some lovely villas abroad, you know. Oh, aye. 2 bathrooms, swimming pool, maid service. We could live like other half live all year round, kid. And the more there are of you, the cheaper it is. So what do you think, kid?
Well, no, I think I'll be going somewhere with our Linda.
Oh, yes, and I were thinking of going with Brian, you know, somewhere near, like St Anne's. Do you know you've no get up and go, you have you? You're old before your time. Same again. Yes, please.
Are you really going on holiday with your daughter? No, are you really going with your Brian? No, but I had to say something, didn't I? Can you imagine her and Jack in a posh villa? He doesn't use 1 bathroom enough as it is, never mind 2. Then she'd be lying all over in a bikini. Have you ever seen Vera in a bikini? No, it's just like a piece of string tied with 3 knots in it.
He must have borrowed half a dozen things now. You got to admire his cheek, haven't you? Not that he is cheeky. I mean, not like the kids of today. They're too cocky by half.
Is he unemployed?
Yeah, I gather he hasn't had a job since he left school. But I'll say this, he doesn't waste his time moping about.
There you are, gents. I thought you two weren't supposed to be talking.
Oh, we suspended hostilities. Gentlemen never let an argument interfere with their drinking.
Here, cheers.
Now, you see, that's where we women are different. When we fall out, we stop fell out, which really makes us a lot more honest than fellas.
Yeah, what? The biggest whoppers I've been told have been told to me by women.
We don't tell lies, Leonard. We're unpredictable. Another facet of the many facets of a woman. Get it right, Cock.
Aye, you've got it made, haven't you? I'm not at dinner hour, you know. I'm working.
What are you doing here, then?
Gazettes were late, so I'm delivering them.
You won't say no to a drink, though, will you?
No, meaning I wouldn't say no.
Give us a vodka and tonic out of that, will you, love?
I already have, love. Women's United, kid. Great team.
Rita,
Yeah.
could I have a quick look at the Gazette, please?
Oh, certainly, sir. There you are.
Thank you.
Hey, you'll never guess where Victor's taking Mavis.
To Casbah?
Only camping in the lake.
A tent?
No, in a coca tin. Of course, in a tent.
Dirty old Victor.
There'll be nothing sordid like that. It'll all be beautiful and healthy and innocent.
In a two-man tent.
Hey, I don't think she's thought about what size tent he has.
If she's got any sense, she'll keep that mouth shut.
They've done us very proud indeed.
Who has?
The Gazette, they interviewed me about this disco. Councillors have lost touch with the people, say disco opponents. And that's just the headlines. Listen to this. The spokesman for the objectors added that...
Is that you, is it?
That's right, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The spokesman for the objectors added that certain councillors appear to be prejudiced in favour of the business interests involved, which was hardly surprising in view of the fact they're businessmen themselves.
You mean Alf?
Their duty is to represent the interests of the voters, in other words, the people, and not to be influenced by well-heeled commercial pressure groups.
Al's not going to like this, is he?
Go stark raving mad.
There's not a shred of doubt that local residents are firmly against the plan to open a disco within drumbeat range of their homes. They also point out the antisocial side effects of a discotheque.
Stark raving mad.
Oh, you like that?
Just this direction on my way back.
He's tenning.
No, I think it's in the Rovers, actually. What do you want it for?
To murder him.
Hey! Did he say murder him?
I think so.
I've got it under his arm. He says, give us a pint. He says, I'm sorry. He said, I can't serve any
Yes, love.
pint.
Please.
Make him two. If you're paying for them.
And I can.
Well, that's all right then.
So he said, what kind of a dog have they given me, then?
They're not bad for a clean one, that.
I'm glad you can still find something funny, Ken.
Well, it's one of Len's better jokes.
You're a bit of a joker yourself, aren't you?
Pardon?
Bit of a comedian-like.
Sorry, I'm not,
All this stuff in the Gazette. Especially the comic cuts, wouldn't it?
I don't think so, no.
Who are you talking about, anyway? Certain councillors seem to be prejudiced in favour of the business interests involved. Am I one of them certain councillors? Am I?
Alf, your drink's here, lovely.
Well, am I? It's blooming rubbish, and you know it is.
Hey, now come on, Alf. This isn't Weatherfield Council Chamber. It's a quiet.
And I can do without any smart aleck remarks from you, lady.
Look, Alf, all I was saying was that the interests of the residents should be uppermost in the council's mind.
You were trying to say that I'm taking backhanders from Mike and that lot. Am I taking backhanders?
No, I never suggested that for a minute.
My nose is clean. I'm not on the planning committee, and I've got naught to do with this application for a disco. One thing I've done, though, something I was elected to do, and that was listen to both sides. And for your information, I shall go on doing that, no matter how many flipping slurs you put in the Gazette, or anywhere else.
What am I supposed to do with this pint? Oh, yeah.
Well, he'll have had a backhand, of course he
All
will.
right, Hilda, let that drop.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm on Alf's side. I want a disco. I mean, after all, I'm going to be on staff, aren't I?
What cleaning contract you do here?
Manageress of cloaks standing.
Alf really was angry, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. And I can't say that I blame him. I would have been an owl.
Hostilities resumed, would you say?
You could say that, yeah.
How's your arm, Mr. Tilsley?
Well, sometimes it's all right, love, and then other days I'm not so sure, like.
Been a long job, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, if there's no lasting improvement soon, I'm off to see that specialist again, I'll tell you. Right, thanks, love. Ta-ra.
See ya. Ta-ra, love.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, love.
Oh, Mr. Tilsley must have been off work for weeks now.
Yes, he has. Right, birthday girl, off you go. You can have the rest of the day off.
Thanks very much. There's only half an hour to go now.
Well, I've got to keep you active and supple, otherwise you won't be able to riddle in that titchy little tent with Victor.
Why with Victor?
Well, I take it you will be sharing a tent with him, won't you?
Oh, quite possibly, yes. But I mean, that's not to say it's going to be a little shrimp of a tent. I mean, well, there's bound to be ample room for privacy.
It's not going to be a canvas bungalow, maybe.
Well, there are some.
Yes, but you can't cart one that size up and down Helvellyn, nor even Victor.
Well, we'll have to see, won't we? I mean, quite honestly, I'm not bothered what size this tent is.
Mavis Riley, the Lake District's a national park. Children go there, and it's full of fawns.
Fawns?
Fawns. Oh, Victor, just the man. Come here. How big's your tent? Mavis were wondering.
Well, as a matter of fact, this is it.
That's a tent.
I thought we'd have a dry run, Mavis.
Pardon?
Well, practice pitching and striking it.
Eh?
You see, it's very important to know your tent intimately.
I'll bet it is.
Well, where are we going to practice?
Your place. We can push the furniture back. Come on, I'll show you the ropes. Do you get that, Rita? Ropes? Guy ropes?
No.
Women, you've no sense of humour.
Not very big, is it? This tent.
Oh, and that chair as well, I think. Well, it's a snug tent.
Really? Snug?
Oh, yes, very snug. Now, we found ourselves a level site with good drainage, so what do you think we do next?
Well, we start putting the tent up.
No, Mavis, not until we've checked the ground for twigs and sharp stones.
Well, you're not likely to find any twigs and sharp stones in here, are you?
I know that, Mavis, but we're pretending we're in a copse on the banks of Buttermere.
I'm sorry.
Right, now, another thing to remember. A tent should always be erected back to the wind. I mean, you don't want the wind whistling through the door and up your nightie in the middle of the night, now, do you? Right. Well, I think we can start getting her up. Oh.
What?
Snags. Well, I can't very well stick the poles in your best Wilton, can I? And then there's the pegs.
Well, I mean, now that I've seen the tent, Victor, couldn't we just wait till we get to Buttermere before putting it up?
And it's pouring down, isn't it?
Is it?
Of course, it always is. So the faster we get it up, the sooner we have shelter. And 4 hands are better than 2, Mavis. I know, milk bottles. We'll stand the poles in milk bottles. You do have some empty milk bottles, haven't you?
Yes, I think so.
As for the pegs, we'll use weights, cutlery.
Well, I haven't got very much cutlery being a single person.
Well, what you have, and we'll use some books.
Oh, yes, got plenty of books. Doing so much reading. Yeah, I think perhaps I ought to buy myself some more cutlery because what little I have, my mother gave me.
Oh, did she?
Yes, I think she was starting me off with the bottom drawer in her way. Still. Men don't bother with bottom drawers, though, do they, Victor?
No.
Have you never thought about getting married?
Never. You don't out in God's fresh air, Mavis. That's where the reality is, not in your conventions. Now, there's your milk bottle.
Who?
In a minute, I want you to stick this pole through that hole there.
Oh.
You'll be responsible for that. This is your pole, Mavis.
Right, thank you.
You must make sure that it's absolutely vertical. That's most important.
Vertical?
Yes, upright.
I do know what vertical means, Victor.
Hey, I'd given you up. You haven't gone mad and put another foot on that wall, have you?
No, but I made a good job of it, though. Even my dad says so.
What does he do for a living?
He's a bus driver. Easy travel.
Ah,
Thanks a lot, Mr. Fairclough.
cleaned it up and all.
You can see.
What do you want to do yourself, you know, for a job like?
I don't know. Anything, really. I'm not really bothered.
You're a bit of a genius with my tools, according to you.
I'm not bad.
You've got enough confidence for half a dozen, I know.
Only trouble is, I can't get a job.
You and many others, mate. Still, that house of yours seems to keep you going, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. There's always something he's doing.
Are you trying to tell me something?
Well, I could do with lending a wrench.
A wrench?
I think lavatory flush needs a new washer. It's always overflowing. But that's one, and I can't move it with anything I've got.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll make a complete inventory of my tools, and then you'll know exactly what I've got. So if you want to borrow something and I haven't got it, then I can always go out and buy it, can't I?
If you like.
Come on, I've got a wrench that you want in there, in me bass, in the office. Hey, promise me one thing, will you?
What's that?
Don't ever take on a big job, because if you do, you're going to clean me out.
I'm not promising anything.
Do you know that was on the telephone?
President Reagan wanted to know if he can put a cruise missile in you, but I'm sorry, Alf. Who was that on the phone?
Radio Weatherfield has seen that rubbish in the Gazette. They want Ken and me to give a debate on the wireless now.
Oh, we'll jump at that.
Yeah, of course he will. He's libelled me already. Now's his chance to slander me if I let him.
He never libelled you. He never even mentioned your name.
No, but everybody knows who he was talking about.
Now, Mavis, small is beautiful.
It is small.
Triumph of functional design, the essence of practicality.
It's only a tent, Victor.
It'll be our home, Mavis. Our refuge, our den. Maybe even our eyrie.
I'm not an eagle.
Well then, let's try it for size.
What now?
Yes, come and see how cosy it is. Come on, Mavis. Well, you can't stay kneeling, Mavis. You'll have to lie down. Plenty of room, isn't there?
Yes.
Close your eyes.
What for?
Imagine we're in our copse at Buttermere.
Oh,
Can you hear it?
what?
The faint sound of a babbling brook. An owl hooting faintly in the distance. Mavis?
I'm trying, Victor. I'm trying.
The time I've got to do it in. I mean, it's a bit big for me on my own.
I shouldn't worry about it. You're not even sure this disco thing's going to happen?
Oh, it's going to happen all right. You can bet your boots on that. I just think I'll have to farm out some of the work to somebody else.
Well, I still think it's all a bit iffy. Ken Barlow will kill it stone dead if he can.
I'm not worried about Ken Barlow. He's a great one for lost causes, is Ken.
Well, before you get too involved in your wheeling and dealing, I'd just like to bear something in mind. Mavis and Nature Boy go off camping today.
What do you want me to do about it? Tell them about the birds and the bees before they go.
No. Anyway, Mavis wouldn't believe you if you did. What I'd like you to do about it is bear in mind that while Mavis is away, I will not be doing the morning papers. I'll do them turn and turn about for you.
Oh, hell.
So now you know. See you. Ta-ra. Hey up, you got a customer.
A customer? You're joking.
Morning.
This is the lad I was telling you about, the one who keeps coming round here borrowing my gear to do the little plumbing jobs around the house. He's got the cheek of the devil, hasn't he, eh? What do you want off me this time?
Nothing. I've only come back to bring back the wrench I borrowed.
How are things at your house? Any floods yet?
No.
Clever lad. Keep it up. Ta-ra.
Thanks for letting me use it. I couldn't have managed without.
It looks in reasonable condition to me.
Hey, Mr. Fairclough.
What?
What do they call them things you use for making a tap stop dripping?
A washer, a little rubber duper.
No, blimey. I know what a washer is. This thing I'm talking about, right? It's like a grinder, and it can make a new seat for the tap to bed down into.
Ah, you mean a reseating tool?
Yeah, that'll be it. You know your stuff, don't you? You haven't got one, have you?
All right, then. Come on, Dad.
Hang on a minute. Would you give me a packet of mint cake, please, love?
Yes. You never say that explorers eat this. I ought to buy myself a couple of packets.
Why? You're not going exploring, are you, love?
Well, in a modest sort of way. I'm going cell walking with a friend.
Oh.
And we'll be sleeping under canvas.
Straight up. You going camping?
It's my first time, too. I expect you think I'm mad. Most people do.
No, we don't, love. I mean, you're never too old to take it up.
Or camping either.
Shut up, you. The adults are talking. Where are you going, love?
To the lake.
The lake's great. We used to go camping there when Brian was just a little lad.
Remember that time in Abergelly? We woke up in the middle of the night with a cow in the tent.
A cow? Oh, in the tent?
It had more of the tent than we did, I can tell you.
Oh.
You get a lot of rain in the lakes, you know, love, so what you want to do is dig a trench all the way around your tent for drainage. That way you'll not get flooded out, you see.
Well, it never stopped us getting flooded out that time in Hollowwood Lake.
That was different. It was a cloudburst. That's a good tip, is that, love, and I'll tell you another one as well. Make sure that you dig your latrine below your tent.
Latrine?
Yeah, you know what a latrine is, don't you, love?
Yes, I know very well, thank you.
Well, I wish I was going with you. I do, dear.
Come on, Dad. We've got work to do.
Aye. Sure, love. Have a nice time.
Thank you.
Sure, love.
Sure. Hey, what's up with you? You've got that look on your face again.
What look?
Like you've been hit from behind with a bag of wet K-Lye. Now, come on, something's bothering you. Didn't fall out with Victor last night, did you?
No, of course not.
How did you go on with your practice? Putting that tent up?
Oh, well, we got it organised eventually. I mean, it's quite simple, really, once you've got the hang of it. It's just... Well, it did seem so small for two people.
Oh, that's what's worrying you. You and Vitamin Pack Victor in the same tent.
Well, wouldn't it worry you?
Well, only if Len got to hear about it.
So if you see clouds upon... Who the heck's that at this time?
Take Snick off, love, and have a see.
Well, we're not open for another hour yet.
Hello.
Thank you, Hilda. Morning, Betty.
Hello,
Morning.
Hello.
Is Mrs. Walker about?
No, she's up there, Joni's.
Again?
Yeah.
You might know. She uses this place like Windsor Castle, and their Joni's like Sandringham.
Pity. Wanted to have a word about this Stop the Disco campaign.
Oh, how's it doing?
Oh, we're doing rather well with the petition. There's a lot of very strong feeling against it. By the way, Betty, have I asked you to sign yet?
No, I don't think you have, love, but I'd rather not. I mean, well, it's nothing to do with me, really, you see.
Oh.
I live a bus ride away.
What about you, Bet?
No, I'll leave it, love, if you don't mind.
You're in favour of this disco, are you?
No, Ken, to be honest with you, it doesn't much bother me either road, but I mean, you've got to have them somewhere. Why not Rosamond Street?
I think you don't realise quite how much of a nuisance it's going to be.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I can't agree with you there. I mean, nothing personal and present company accepted, like, but, well, I think a lot of folk what signed them petitions are just killjoys.
I don't think there's much joy as such involved in a disco wine bar, Mrs. Ogden. Pleasure, perhaps, and a lot of inconvenience for the rest of us.
No, I'm sorry, but I speak as I find. I can't see naught wrong with folk having a bit of fun.
You've changed your mind then, Hilda? I was under the strong impression you were on our side.
She was. Till Mike Baldwin said that there might be a bit of cleaning work when the disco started.
He did not. A position was mentioned, but it's not cleaning.
It's not go-go dancing either, is it, Hilda?
The cloakroom was mentioned. Well, you have to bear that in mind, don't you? I mean, if it's providing jobs, well, not more important nowadays, is there?
Yes, it's all.
Funny sort of a name, Valentine. Hey, you're no relation to that spin bowler that used to be, are you? You know, the cricketer. There used to be a song about them. Them little pals of mine.
Ramadan and Valentine?
One, yeah.
No relation. I'll tell you what, though.
What?
I'd sooner be called Valentine than Ramadan. Can just imagine the kids at school, can't you?
Yeah, you can you? It's more of a job than plumbing, though, isn't it? Playing cricket for your living. There's only your lot dish out any decent fast bowlers nowadays.
When you say my lot, do you mean them who live in Clarence Street? Or do you mean them who went to Bessie Street School, generally?
Now, do you know what I'm talking about? It's a fact, though, isn't it? Only the West Indians turn out decent fast bowlers nowadays. I mean, our lot of rubbish. It's got nothing to do with prejudice, you know. Although, I'm not prejudiced, you know, not at all.
I didn't think you were.
But to be dead honest, though, I am really a bit prejudiced about most things. Like cockneys and fellas who wear sunglasses, I ask you, sunglasses round here. Yorkshiremen, there's something about them and all. Hey, if you want to know about plumbing, shall I give you a tip?
What's that?
Get plenty of tea down here. That's the first rule of the job. Get to know the brewing capabilities of the lady of the house. I mean, make sure that you are out on the job before you do that, of course. But in here, the kettle goes on the hour, every hour. Can you make a cup of tea?
Morning, Bessie. Pint of bitter, please.
Okay, love.
Morning, Al.
Hiya.
Is it right what I've been hearing about you two?
What's that?
Well, somebody said that you were going on the local wireless, you know, debating this disco scheme.
No, it's not right.
Oh, well, I stand corrected.
Oh, I was game. I thought it was a good idea. But Alf didn't fancy it. Don't know why. Maybe he thinks he's not got a good case to argue.
Nothing of the sort. Look, there's a very simple reason why I've no intention whatsoever of going on the wireless, and it's this. It's nothing to do with me, one way or the other, whether that warehouse is made into a disco or not. It's up to the council.
Well, you're a councillor.
Yeah, one out of dozens. It's the whole council has to make that decision.
Well, you're the councillor for round here, though.
Exactly. Very good point.
Look, I'm getting a bit fed up with this. I came in here for a quiet drink, and all I'm getting is all this argument.
Well, are you surprised? With feelings as strong as they are?
Tio. You said 2 sugars, didn't you? That's yours.
You know, considering you're new at this lark, you haven't made a bad job of that.
Well, I generally can, you know. If I've got the gear. You can't do out without the tools, can you?
You know those jobs you're doing around the house?
What about them?
Do you get paid much for them?
Not really. I just do it for the family, you know. I don't reckon anybody else would trust me. I mean, look at you. You'd reckon I'd be starting floods at our house.
You're dead right and all. I'll tell you something else. You don't make a bad cup of tea either. Have you ever thought of taking this up as a career?
How do you mean?
I mean, why don't you come round here and start working for me? It's simple enough. I'm offering you a job.
Mavis,
Come in, Victor.
can you open the door, please?
Oh.
I was worried about overbalancing backwards down the stairs. I didn't want to be fumbling around with the doorknob.
Oh, no, you wouldn't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you want any help?
No. It's quite simple if you're methodical. No, I can do it. Did you get your rucksack packed?
Yes, I just finished, but I'm having a bit of a struggle to get it fastened, though.
My word, Mavis, you'll never get that up Scartho Pike. What have you got in there?
Oh, just the basics, like you said.
Oh, let's see. You seem to have a lot of clothes. I mean, the secret is to carry your clothes on you.
Yes, well, I need something to change into, don't I?
Well, yes, I know that, but what are these?
Rather you didn't look at those, Victor, the personal garments.
Well, I mean, you can't take the entire contents of your wardrobe, Mavis. Oh, Mavis.
Well, I get cold feet, especially at night.
Well, you won't on this trip, Mavis. Not if you wear 2 pairs of socks. Look, I'll pack this. It's all in the distribution.
Only me. My word, it's like Captain Scott's base camp in here, isn't it? Just come to give you the weather forecast. Scattered showers.
Oh.
Well, a little rain won't worry us.
No, why should it? I mean, you'll be as snug as 2 little bugs in a rug in that tent. Oh, that reminds me. Didn't you want to ask Victor about, you know?
No, I didn't want to ask him anything.
Oh, must have been me wanted to ask then. Just wondering, Victor, I mean, with me not knowing anything about this camping lark, will it be just the one sleeping bag you'll be taking, or what?
Hmm?
Just the one?
Oh, yes. Just the one. Each, of course.
Oh, you don't want to take any notice of Rita. I never do.
I mean, a job's a job, and round here they're like flipping gold dust.
Yeah, I know that.
Lately, I haven't had any cause to take anybody on because of the work. But I've got a very big job in the offing, you see, and if I look on the bright side, there could be a lot more where that came from.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you see, I hadn't really planned on being a plumber. Well, not as a career, you know.
What had you planned on being then? Brain surgeon, airline pilot? No, I'm not taking the mickey. I mean, just look around you, weigh it up.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I mean, you started off your own bat doing this plumbing lark in the house, didn't you? So maybe that's it. That's your, you know, what your natural aptitude is.
What sort of money are we talking about, Mr. Fairclough?
I couldn't give you an answer off the top of my head. It'll be part of this youth employment scheme. You know, the government will give you a little bit towards your wages and all that sort of thing. It won't be wonderful, but it'll be a damn sight more than you're getting on the dole.
Yeah.
And after a while, if you shape, we'll see how you're doing, eh? And after about 6 months, you might do the thing properly, you know. A full apprenticeship. Start learning the trade from top to bottom. Or what do you say?
Thanks very much for the offer. I really appreciate it. But I think I'd best have a word with my mum. See what she thinks. Okay?
All right, you have a word with whoever you like. But don't mess me around. I want a definite answer, yes or no, tomorrow.
You did have your thick socks on in the shop, didn't you? Because you have to have the extra room for the double thickness, you see.
Yes, I understand that, Victor. They are the right fit.
And you've dubbing them, haven't you?
Yes, I did everything just like you said.
You see, your boots are your best friends, are your worst enemies. And I don't know, I mean, people make me laugh. I mean, they really do. They seem to think that you can put on a pair of old shoes and just trot off into the sunset.
Yes, well, I hoped it would be like that myself.
But it's a serious business, Mavis. Right, let's see you walk then.
Oh, dear.
How did they feel?
Well, it feels like the feet are standing in 2 buckets.
In a few days, Mavis, they'll feel like carpet slippers.
Oh, I hope you're right.
Mavis, you are looking forward to this holiday, aren't you? I mean, it's going to be a wonderful experience, you know. I mean, it'll widen your horizons. You do want to go, don't you?
Yes, of course I do. I'm thrilled about it.
That's the girl. Believe me, when you're breathing in the purest air in the world, getting it deep into your lungs, you'll laugh at all the petty discomforts. Right, well, I'll help you on with your rucksack.
You know, people have been trying to put me off, telling me all sorts of stories about tents blowing away and creeper crawlies. Sorry, and even snakes. Well, I just took it all in my stride, just because. I mean, I haven't got really snakes in this country, have we?
Well, of course we have.
I mean, I just laugh. We have.
3 varieties, if you count the slow worm. Although that's not really a snake at all.
It isn't.
No, it's a legless lizard, actually. I'll teach you how to recognise them if we're lucky enough to spot them. They'll be there, but you don't always see them.
Victor, I don't like snakes.
They're very interesting creatures and quite harmless. Well, the adder is poisonous, of course, but you're quite safe if you don't attack it.
I wouldn't dream of attacking an adder.
Well, then you've nothing to worry about, then. Right, well, time we were making tracks for the high hills.
Bye, Harriet. I'll be thinking about you.
Ah, maps, yes. Compass, yes.
Don't need a compass, do we?
Oh, yes, absolutely vital. No signposts where we're going, you know.
I suppose the snakes don't need them.
90 and 10's a pound. Thanks very much, love. Ta-da. Right. Fancy a brew?
Eh? Oh, yeah, nice cup of tea, yeah. Right. No, coffee. Hey, Deirdre, what's gone wrong with Ken?
How do you mean?
Well, he's a right go at me and the Rovers just now, you know, over this disco do.
Well, I think he just feels strongly about it. You know, Ken, he takes these things seriously.
Yeah, no, but he seems to be having a go at me personally.
Oh, no, Alf, it's nothing personal. I'm sure it's not. You know Ken.
Oh, I thought I did. He seems a bit different, though. I don't know what you've been doing to him.
The paper bill seems so enormous these days, especially if you let it run on for a week or 2.
Oh, I know, love. Do you know we lose customers through it? We let it slide for a month, and then when they think about paying it, they're into needing a mortgage for it.
And the fines they charge at the library now. I let a book get overdue a few weeks recently. I was horrified at the fine they charged me. Oh, hello, Gail. Oh, Gail, while I think of it, do you want to add your signature to this petition about the new disco? You probably heard about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I've heard about it. I don't think I want to sign anything, though. And I'm not that bothered.
And even if she was, she doesn't live all that near, does she?
I shouldn't really have asked her in here, should I? Not with Len being involved in the scheme. Sorry. Bye.
Bye, love.
Hiya.
Now then. Hello, Gail.
Oh, serve Betteridge. I want to look for a birthday.
OK. Yes, Bet.
I want to get in bed for the afternoon, and I want something to take with me. Give me any magazine with no knitting patterns in it.
Right. Hey-o. This'll be Mavis and her friend going on the trail of the lonesome pine. Wait till you see them. Oh. Don't tell me. Let me guess. You're the chap that sets the games for it's a knockout.
No, I'm afraid not.
Mavis, are you sure you've got everything?
I hope you enjoy it, Mavis. I don't think it'd suit me.
Oh, you'd be surprised. You get a great feeling of achievement.
Should be quite an achievement getting on the bus, I think.
Right, Mavis, let's go and get that train for Windermere.
Rita.
Yes.
You'll keep an eye on Harriet, won't you? Like, change your water every day.
Now, don't you worry. Just enjoy yourself.
Yes, and you won't forget to check a seed and...
Don't worry about that budgie. She'll be warmer, drier and better fed than you will be. And the feet won't be playing her up.
Mavis's feet will be fine. I'll see to that.
Oh, bye-bye.
Bye, love. Bye.
Bye.
Has Baby 7-minute Girl Guides? No. Not sure about him, though.
Look, it's 23 buses bus we want for the station?
Yes, that's right.
We're going the wrong way. The bus stop's back there.
Oh. Well, we can walk to the station if you like. We could just do it if we shave.
No, I think I'd rather get to bus.
Yes, you're right. Save our energies for the countryside, eh?
Sparrow legs!
Ignore it, Mavis. You get that kind of annoyance in a built-up area. Not when you're in the country. Well, not a great deal, anyway.
I'm trying to think who they put me in mind of.
Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid.
Oh, they had horses.
Of course, that's who they remind me of. Horses.
Hiya.
Aye.
Do you want a hand with that?
No, I've finished now. For the time being, anyway. Have you made your mind up?
Yeah. The way I look at it is this. You'll be paying me pretty lousy money. With you only being a little bit of a firm, I could be out of my backside if anything goes wrong. And seeing that you are the only bloke who's offered me a job since I've left school. Yes, please. I'd like to work for you.
Right. You're on. Let's hope neither of us regret it.
When do I start?
How does next Monday morning suit you?
Fine.
Right, be here at 8:30, okay?
Right, Burklow, shut shop up and take me for a drink. Blimey, are you here again? What are you cadging this time?
Hey, don't talk to him like that. You'll have me with a strike on my hands.
Eh?
Talk to my labour force. From next Monday morning, he's on the payroll.
Are you kidding me?
No, it's right.
Oh, well, good luck, son. Welcome to the madhouse. And next time your boss says he can't find anything for you to do, just remind him 1 or 2 jobs want doing at our house.
Okay.
Yeah, Roy. The key to this place. And if you're in before me next Monday, you know what to do.
Yeah. Get the kettle on. See ya.
Rather.
Quick on the uptake, isn't he?
Are you sure of what you're doing?
Am I ever?
I mean, you don't really know the lad. Who is he anyway?
He's just a lad. What is there to know? He comes from Clarence Street. He went to Bessie Street School. He's bright enough. He's handy.
You got enough work for him?
Yeah. If that work comes in from Mike Baldwin's pal, yeah. And I'll tell you something else. He could have been competition. No, I know he's just a teenage cowboy now. But that's the sort of people pay cheap when the money's tight. Let's put it this way. I'd rather have him inside the hut spitting out than outside the hut spitting in.
What a revolting expression.
And you've got the cleaned up version.
You've done very well, Emily.
Over 70 signatures so far. I went the whole length of Rosamond Street this afternoon.
Anybody not signed this petition who wants to sign it?
Have you signed, Vera?
I'm not signing. Me and Elsie were fancying Andy Knight's spot, don't we? Hey, and you know what? Baldwin might give us free membership, you know.
Well, God help us if we get any more like you going in. It's all right for you don't live round here, do you? It'll be monkey music pounding in hours till midnight later.
Heidi, what are you getting so wet up about?
Because I happen to think it'll be a damn nuisance, that's why, Elsie.
Aww.
Hey, Ken. I've signed once, but I don't mind doing a few made-up names.
No, thanks, Ivy. We'll play it straight. We've got enough genuine opposition to the darn thing without having to invent it.
Have a light ale, please, and he's paying.
No, let him in, Nora.
Now, stop moaning. If you want any tea tonight, you'll get your hand down.
Bye, Kilda. You can charm his last halfpenny off him with that sweet-talking way of yours.
Well, I see they'll be starting tomorrow.
Who?
Over at the warehouse for the disco.
What's this, Hilda? Who's doing what and when?
Well, I met Mike Baldwin coming out the warehouse, and he had this chap with him, some sort of builder. And tomorrow they're going to start ripping things out inside.
Oh, I'll say one thing for Baldwin, he doesn't hang about, does he?
Some we for your flaming petition, Ken. Might as well tear it up.
Just a minute. They can't start converting that warehouse. The council haven't passed the planning application yet.
Hello, pipe, please. What's up?
Hilda reckons they're starting work on that warehouse tomorrow.
That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I did hear something, yes.
But the council haven't approved the plans.
No, well, it's just preliminary work, you know. I mean, they're just clearing things out so that they can go ahead when the plans are passed.
If they're passed.
Oh, give over, Ken. It's all cut and dried, isn't it?
It does look as if it's all over, bar the shouting.
Oh, no, it's not. Like I say, the council still have to meet yet. And they don't know the strength of public feeling on this. Right. So, we'll just have to bring it to their attention, won't we? I'm going to call a public meeting over at the centre.
Well, I'll certainly be there.
Yeah, well, I just hope everybody will be there. That is, if they care enough.
Well, you can count on me, Ken. And I hope our local council will be there and all to take notice at feeling.
Oh, what's the use? Mike Bowler will get his own way like he always does.
Well, yes.
We'll see about that.
1410.
1310.
14, dummy. Can't you count or what?
It's you what can't count. It was 12-9, then it's 12-10.
13-9, 13-10. Now it's 14.
You're a twister, you are.
Who are you calling a twister?
What's going on?
We're playing table tennis, Mr. Barlow.
I didn't know you threw bats at one another at table tennis. Why aren't you at school, Neil?
I forgot my bag, Mr. Barlow.
So? You don't have to have a bag in your hand to get into school, do you?
Well, it has me homework in.
Since when did you do any homework?
Well, it has me homework in. I didn't do.
On your way, first stop school, bag or no bag, and I'll ring Mr. Beresford this afternoon to make sure you've arrived.
We've not got any money for a bus either, Mr. Barlow.
Walk it.
We might get mugged, eh?
Yeah, we might.
I'll be living in hopes, and I'll put the bat and ball away and scoot.
Hey, Mum, we're talking about you last night, Mr. Barlow.
Was she?
You're dead against this disco, aren't you? Like she is.
Yes, I am.
Well, same goes for you, Mr. Barlow. I mean, what I told my mum. If you want any help. If anybody starts any trouble and you want them filling in, just give us a wire.
Well, thank you very much, Neil, but I'll fight my own battles if you don't mind.
Try, Mr. Barlow. Mr. Barlow?
Yes?
I've forgotten what school we go to.
Well, it won't matter if I boot you all the way there then, will it? Out!
Yeah, there's that suitcase I was telling you about.
Hey, it looks brand new.
It was full of old rags. Got it out of a house in Oakwood Avenue.
Hey, maybe she didn't mean a tech case as well.
Don't you think so? Oh, what a pity. Ah, well, if she wants it back, she can ask for it. She can have it back. No sense in you not using it for your worldly goods tomorrow, though, is there?
Well, we'll come with yours, Phil. Thanks a lot.
Hello, lads. Heck, if you knock off any sooner, you'll meet yourselves coming back.
Do everything and knocking before you come in.
I did do, but I've a very small hand. Small bones as well, you know.
Whoever to find your skeleton think you're a dinosaur.
Hey, that's not nice, Joey.
Oh, I thought it was tomorrow you were going to live with your mopsy.
It is.
Oh, Mrs. Kirby. How many times has she been widowed?
Once.
Are you sure? How do you know she's not got a pile of bodies in backyard under flags? Fellas like you she's lured into parlour, clutching the suitcases, not to mention the bank books, and then she's polished them off. She's had a lot of new clothes lately.
Our ladies do, don't they? They don't walk around in something made up of an old army blanket.
Some lady. She's been a fallen woman that many times you can't see her backside for bruises.
Yeah, well, it's not the sort of language for a young choir boy like me, so I'll see you.
Hey, don't forget we're doing a few jars tonight. You know, sort of a farewell celebration.
I'll be there.
Uh-huh.
Am I invited?
No.
Go on, you might never see me again. She might not leak out at the house.
I don't think I'd complain if it meant never clapping eyes on you again.
Any woman that takes you in, she's bound to have ulterior motives. I mean, if you're looking for a nice ornament, you don't buy a bucket, do you?
Back to base, eh, Mavis?
Oh, yes. Okay, bye. Oh, you do come home sometime then. Where have you been?
You know very well where we're being, the Lake District.
That many splendid place.
No, what I meant was you were supposed to be home yesterday.
Well, we couldn't drag ourselves away. Such perfection, eh, Mavis?
Yes.
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm just tired, that's all. Will you help me off with this thing, please?
Oh, yes. We were up at 6 this morning.
Oh, couldn't you sleep?
We wanted to see our last dawn. Drink it in until we were intoxicated. Am I right, Mavis?
Yes, Pete.
It's been a marvellous week, Rita. Buried in nature's bosom. Oh, one feels so refreshed, fighting fit, honed to a cutting edge. Well, I'd better get back to base myself. I'll see you later, Mavis, for a spot of debriefing.
Yes, if you like.
Bye, Rita.
Bye.
Oh, Mavis was a wonderful companion, Rita. Really wonderful.
Well, that were nice of him, wasn't it?
Yes.
Are you sure you're all right?
I told you, I'm just tired.
Well, don't bite me head off.
Oh,
why are you limping?
Because my feet hurt.
What about this rucksack?
Mavis? God almighty. There you
Is
are.
it tomorrow he's going then?
It's as if Phyllis lets him. I've just left her trying to bend his arm to stop.
It's there he's trying to get away from, isn't it?
No, I think where he's going, he's trying to get his washing done and all.
Yeah, and the rest if I know Yorkie.
Yeah, you know, I'm not sorry he's going. It's the way he looks at you with them eyes of his, you know, taking your clothes off layer by layer.
I didn't think that'd worry you.
It didn't, once.
Anyway, he's having a bit of a do if anybody's interested, you know.
Who's having to do?
Being heck, Albert, the thought of a 3 pint in your ears pop up like railway signals. Chalky is.
What time?
Well, I don't know. About 8 o'clock, I suppose.
Well, you might have let me know sooner. I might have had someone else song.
What, like 3 blondes?
No, 1.
He is kidding, isn't he?
I wouldn't put anything past Albert.
He's sitting there grinning about something.
Well, now, this is a sight for sore eyes.
Eh?
The two of you walking in here together like the pals you should be, instead of all this bad blood about the disco. It isn't worth it.
Well, only accident. We met on the doorstep. Anyway, a pint of bitter, please, Annie.
I've not fallen out with him, Mrs. Walker, and a half for
Well,
me.
you've no reason
I'll
to,
get
have
it for
you?
you.
I mean, I've not been libeling and slandering you all over the town, have I?
Well, what do you think you're doing now? Saying that what I've done is a slander when it isn't.
But you did drop some hints about the jiggery pokery,
Yeah,
didn't you?
see?
We can do without your opinion, Mr. Ogden. Thank you very much.
I've got an opinion, you know. You know what I think about this disco? I like coming in here with this place pub for a drink. To always get a quiet drink. Not a very big place, but nice and quiet. And I will not have this disco music blasting my lugos while I'm supping. That's a fact.
Well, there you are, Annie. You can call that a compliment, I suppose. Just.
Mr. Ogden, would there be any chance at all of a disco across the road making you seek a new pub?
Might be. Why?
I was just wondering. You know, I bet the first thing you did after you were born, you put your foot in something, eh, Stan?
I enjoyed that one, too.
Not to be somebody.
Yeah, I'll
Anybody.
get it.
No, you won't. I will.
Look.
Right, well, cheers, Al. Yeah.
Cheers.
I wish you'd change your mind and come to this protest meeting tomorrow night.
Oh, so you and your mates could sling some more mud at me?
We wouldn't do that, Alf, and you know it. I think it's your duty to come as our local councillor.
Now, we're both feet in the opposition camp, according to you.
Well, OK, so you can represent them. But they're not going to be there either, are they?
Yeah, well, I don't suppose my client's been blackguarded in public either for doing something he can see no harm in.
Hey! What you doing there?
Now?
Nothing. Well, you go and do nothing somewhere else. That happens to be private property.
It's not your private property, is it?
As a matter of fact, it is. I own it.
Is it you something in this disco as well?
That's right. And do us a favour, will you? What? Don't come. Now, on your way. And if I see you again, I'll introduce you to the old Bill, all right?
Who's old Bill?
He must be Baldwin. Him what my mum don't like.
I'm not mad about him either.
He owns Jean's factory as well.
He's a cheeky swine. Hey, where are you going? Wait! What are you doing that for?
Felt like it.
Hey, I saw that. I know who you are.
What's going on?
2 kids. One of them's just thrown a brick through your office window.
2 kids? A little... I've just had a Barney with 2 kids.
I know one of them and all. His name's Harper. You know him and all, Ken. His mother's one of your anti-disco lot.
Is she? Nice one, Kenneth. Nice one.
Mavis. Mavis? Mavis, are you all right? Mavis? Oh, what are you doing there? Did all that tattle?
I told you I'm tired.
Well, why don't you go to bed?
Oh, just leave me alone. I'll go in a minute.
Oh, wouldn't you like me to get you anything? A cup of tea or something?
No, thank you.
Oh, well, leave you to it then.
Oh.
Whatever's the matter?
Oh, it's my ankle where all the skin's rubbed off with my new hiking boots. And every so often a pain shoots right through my foot.
Well, perhaps if we took your socks off.
No, not yet. I daren't, not yet.
Oh, wow. You know best.
Well, that's very dangerous. There could have been somebody in there. I mean, it's like...
What's going on, love?
You might well ask.
One of your lads just vandalised Mike Baldwin's factory. Chucked a brick right through the office window. Nearly killed somebody from all accounts.
Hilda, stop exaggerating.
Well, it could easier done.
Which one of our lot was it?
Young Neil Harper, apparently.
So what's new? He's a right young thug, that. When he thinks windows are there to be shied at.
Yeah, but that doesn't alter the fact that he's Mrs. Harper's son.
Oh, well, it's coming to something when you can't fight fair and square. You have to resort to violence.
Oh, Hilda.
I'll wring young Neil's neck when I get my hands on him.
Oh, too late now, Ken. The damage is done. I mean, you're judged by who you're seen with.
It wasn't his mother who did it, for heaven's sake.
No, but I bet it was her what put him up to it, though. Oh, she's a very narrow-minded woman, is Mrs. Harper. You can always tell. She's got a very thin neck.
Well, you've got a thin neck.
Shut up, Stanley. I'm talking to the door, not the knocker.
It's very close, isn't it, for this time of the year? You know, yes, Mr. Baldwin.
Scotch, please.
Oh, it didn't hurt anybody then, the stone.
It could have, couldn't it? I could have been sitting in that office.
Yeah, I suppose you could.
Well, I think they want locking up and all their clothes burning, Mr. Baldwin. I do, honest. Young hooligans. Still, it's like I say. Where did they get the idea from to put that brick through the window?
They didn't get it from anywhere, Hilda.
Oh, that's what you think. What do you say, Mr. Baldwin?
Only this. I wasn't going to that meeting, but now I am. I've changed my mind. I want to see what sort of people I'm up against. I thought this was a civilised protest. Now I'm wrong.
Here, here.
You know, I think I might change my mind and go to that meeting after all, Ken. It could be very interesting.
Well, I won't complain about that, Alf. The more the merrier, and the more democratic. Even if it did take a brick to bring you all together.
Good for you, love.
You know, I could put a brick through that disco window if it opens.
Oh, aye. Hoping it'll hit me when I'm working in the cloakroom, no doubt.
Do you know which room that is?
Yes?
What did I forget?
I don't know what.
The film. I can take it to a pal of mine tonight. He says he'll develop it for me on the spot.
The camera's over there.
Oh.
Oh.
Feeling a bit depressed, are we? Well, you're bound to, Mavis. Coming back home. Bit of an anticlimax, isn't it? After the holiday we had. Oh, wasn't it just perfect? You did enjoy it, didn't you, Mavis?
Well, to be quite honest, Victor...
Well, I wouldn't expect you to be anything else, Mavis.
Well, I just think that we did too much walking. I mean, it's all right for you, but I'm not used to it.
You only walk 15 miles a day.
Most of that was uphill.
Sorry?
Well, I just don't think that a holiday should be an assault course, do you? I mean, well, I'd have preferred it if there'd been more time just to stand and stare. There now, I've been honest.
I'm amazed, Mavis, and very disappointed. I thought we were in step this last week. Uphill, down dale, every inch of the way. Except for one or two minor complications, which are only to be expected between two people in such close proximity for the first time. Now you tell me that you hated it.
I didn't say I hated it.
Well, it sounded like that to me. I mean, I wish you could have waited before making these criticisms. Let me enjoy my fool's paradise for today at least.
Well, you asked me to be honest.
Well, there's a time and place for everything, Mavis. Well, I'd better go. Otherwise I'll miss this pal of mine. Goodbye, Mavis.
Goodbye, Victor.
What about our owl, eh? Our very own owl? Sat up there on his branch looking down on us, sitting round our campfire. And I said, he seems to know we're happy together. And he seems to approve. And you said, yes.
But it was raining, Victor.
Have you no soul, Mavis? Oh, blast. I'm sorry.
Anything wrong?
No, of course there isn't.
Oh, well, I just come up because I thought you might have seen enough of Victor lately.
Well, you thought wrong.
How's your ankle?
I'll live.
Apart from that, your ankle went all right, did it? Holiday?
Yes.
Did you camp out?
We had a tent, didn't we?
One tent.
Look, Rita.
Yes, Mary.
I am not going into details about my holiday with Victor, just to satisfy your prurient little mind.
What does prurient mean?
dirty.
All right, as long as you had a good time.
Yes, we did.
Did you used to get undressed together in the tent at night? Or did one of you get undressed and get into bed? Still, if you did that, you'd still be able to see the other one getting undressed, wouldn't you? Unless you did it in the dark. Suppose it could be quite interesting, that. Both of you getting undressed together in the tent at night, in the dark. Mavis, why's back of your neck gone all red?
I think you're balmy myself.
You would.
I mean, you're quids in here, aren't you? Don't yourself look after. What you want to throw it for another woman for, I don't know.
I'm only going as a lodger. It's a business arrangement. Got to get out of it sometime, haven't I?
She'll get her hooks in you. They always do. They can't bear seeing a bloke happy on his own. She'll start arranging things for you. And if you're dead unlucky, wed you.
I wish you'd shut up, Stanley. This is supposed to be a farewell booze-up. I'm supposed to be having a good time.
Say no notice of him, sure. He's always grumbling about the state of marriage, and it's the only thing that's kept his head out the gutter.
I've never kept my head up since I was wed.
Look, I don't care what you say. I'm looking forward to going with Mrs. Kirby. She's a nice woman, and she's looked after herself and all.
Be like a whole new lease of life for you.
It's not too late, and that's a fact.
You'll regret it.
Hang on, somebody at the door. Help yourselves to another drink.
Hey, isn't it about time we went down the Rovers?
Let's have another.
Who is it?
It's me. I thought you were giving them a bit of a do tonight.
There we are, in here.
Oh, you'd go to any lengths to avoid me, wouldn't you?
Don't tell me you got the message after all this time.
Well, aren't you going to ask me in? You owe me a drink after everything I've done for you these past months.
No, I'm not. We're having a nice, quiet drink, and I'm not having you spoil it, so hope it.
Don't you come running to me when she's taking you for every penny and you're a broken man.
I said open it, I'll turn the hosepipe on you.
You laughing stock at town, Tom Whiteley.
Hi, is it about time you finished?
Oh, hello, love. I'm just seeing everything shipshape. You know, I won't have time tomorrow.
How many people do you think will be coming to this meeting?
Well, plenty, I hope. Show the powers that be the strength of the feeling against the disco.
There's not going to be any trouble, is there?
Trouble?
Well, you know, any more bricks thrown through windows or even blows struck.
Well, that would put the issue on the front pages, wouldn't it? Residents riot to stop disco, army called in.
I think you'd enjoy that. You've got a bloodthirsty streak in you, Ken Barlow.
Yeah, possibly. I always regret not having been at Grosvenor Square or Grunwick, you know, one of the big demonstrations.
Oh, you'd have been frightened to death.
Well, you just don't know, do you? Like, you don't know how you behave in battle with people shooting at you.
Well, I know how I'd behave. I'd run for it. Anyway, come on, I've got some crumpets for supper and get a meeting before Uncle Albert gets home.
Oh, yeah, and then be really rotten and show him our empty plates.
Well, I've phoned cabin a couple of times. There's no answer. She must have packed off to bed.
Well, she's got one upon me, is Mavis. I've never been camping with a fella.
Did you want to?
No, not really.
Did you enjoy yourself? It's hard to tell. She's either been in pain or asleep since she got
Oh, well, as long as it was all worth it.
Oh, yes. I mean, you don't mind a bit of suffering if it's for a good cause.
Oh, you wicked you, Bear. Elizabeth, dear, you don't mind clearing the premises and locking up, do you? No. Only I'm feeling rather exhausted. Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Mrs. Walker.
Exhausted, my foot. Is that lot? She doesn't want to strain her posh voice, you know. Shouting at them to get out.
You don't mind, do you, Betty?
No, lovey, I'll enjoy it. I'm nobody at home to shout at.
You know, meetings is wrong. They shouldn't be allowed.
Hey, weren't you that chuck that brick through the window, Alex?
I mean, there's my bowl here. He doesn't even live in the flipping street. And he's building a disco in it. And he won't hear the noise, will he? He won't hear the motor cars dashing up and down and yobbos yelling out all over the flipping place. No. This street and this pub will be absolute hell. I'll tell you. This is a damn shame. It is, and it's a damn shame.
It's a damn shame. You're not wrong, Stanley.
Don't you think so, Chelsea?
I do. I'm glad I'm going with Mrs. Kirby. Get away from it.
Well, say so then.
It's a damn shame.
Come on, lads, let's be having you. You've not got any homes to go to. The police station will make you lovely and comfy.
We can take an hint, Betty.
Oh, yeah.
And we're not drunk.
No.
And we're not stupid.
No way. Good night, missus.
Good night, lovey.
Come on, you and all, Sam.
All right,
Come on.
I'm going,
Let's
I'm going.
Get on your horse, then.
I
Come on.
like to drink in the quiet.
Yes, I know you do.
Dead for the atmosphere.
Yeah. Oh.
You won't get anything out of
No,
this.
you won't, love it. You won't. It's a shame, love. It's a shame, a damn shame.
It's a shame. It's a nice pub. Where's Chalky?
He's gone home. Hey. He thought he saw their Phyllis. Hey, Stan. Do you know what this street could do with?
Peace and quiet. Like it did now.
Yellow lines. That's what this street could do with yellow lines.
Yellow lines?
Hang about.
What's that about yellow lines for? I've heard of railway lines. We're talking about yellow lines. Hey, come in. I've got so fast I can't catch up with you. I'm not as same as you are, you know. Oh, give off. Oh. Hello, love. Who's taking you home tonight?
Well, I tell you what, love, if you took me home, your husband wouldn't bat an eyelid.
I'll go over there when you wouldn't. I'll run the window in the bed tonight. That fella, we're staying in King's Days, Norfolk. Where was the Hey, where have you gone? Yellow line there. Yellow line there. Oh, wait. Where are you? Where are you? Are you there? What are you going to paint?
Yellow lines. See? Yellow lines, they're like little scuffers, like, you know. You get nobody parking on yellow lines. No John Travoltas, no nobodies. See, 'cause the street stays quiet, see, with yellow lines. You take my word for it.
Have you got a brush tray?
You stand there and perspectives and that.
Hey, that's not yellow, that's paint.
Don't split hairs, Stanley.
Oh, hello. You're up and about early.
Yeah, well, Mrs. Walker wanted some shopping doing. What's them? Parking lines?
Pardon?
Them orange lines. Who done them?
Oh, them. Do you know, I was just asking Stan the same question. Now, it must be hooligans. I mean, who else would do a thing like that? No, if you ask me, it's the same lot what chucked that brick through the factory window to stop this disco lark.
Some folks do some funny things. Jeez.
Of course, I blame the parents, you know. Must be kids. Right, come on, let's be having you.
All right.
Come on, get out here.
We're coming.
Now, you get rid of that paint if you have to go down on your hands and knees and lick it off. And if anybody comes wanting to know who done it, you don't know. It's bad enough being barn pots without the whole world knowing about it.
Go easy, Hilda. We'd had a drink. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
It would have worked, too.
Which is more than I can say for you. Well, come on, don't just stand there looking at it. Give me strength. Here, like this. Now, come on, shape yourself, you big lummox. It won't bite you.
I can't get down there with my bike.
Give it here, Stanley.
And think on. You stick at it till the last trace is gone. Of course, I blame the police, you know. I mean, we never had nothing like this when there was bobbies on the beat, like your Cyril. But nowadays, they whiz past that quick. You could be murdering somebody for all they'd notice.
I bet you feel like murdering somebody, don't you, Hilda?
Oh, what?
Tell you what, I wish I could get my hands on him.
Could have been a drunk.
Do you know, Stan, that's just what I was thinking, love. It's an idea, Hilda.
could have been a drunk. Here, you deserve flaming backache.
Here, cup of tea. Now, are you going to sup it or soak your feet in it?
I think I'll drink it. Do you mind?
You two-faced devil.
But that's a personal letter to me.
Well, it was just lying here, Mavis. And it's not the only thing that's lying here, is it? If you spent your entire holiday in a tent, how come you left your cardigan in a youth hostel?
You've got no right to go reading my private correspondence.
You crafty devil. Mr. and Mrs. Pendlebury, was it?
No, it was not. We spent the last 2 nights there, if you must know, because I got this crick in my neck.
A likely story.
Well, we weren't in the same dormitory.
How did you get in? Through the window? I bet you organised it, you know. I mean, you're crafty enough to.
Oh,
you know what they say, Mavis? Be sure your sins will find you out. So come on, don't wait. Tell us rest of them. Oh, that good, were they? Oh.
I've had a good shufty round upstairs, been through all the drawers. There's nothing up there, not in the way of clothes anyway.
Yeah. Hey, where's my wireless set?
It's on the cart. Hey, you want to kick that into touch? It's clapped out. I bet you could get it more on that.
Yeah, I never listen to it any road. Hey, see that? The Wi-Fi I bought that at Elton Market, 1947. Mind it with a tea set then.
Yeah, well, nothing lasts forever, does it?
No. Like them yellow lines of yours, eh?
Don't mention yellow lines to me.
There's only one way to stop that disco being built, and that's physical. We line up in front of the place and we stop them contractors moving in. A wall of living flesh.
Oh, no, Mrs. Harper.
I don't think so. We win this battle by the power of argument.
Never. Never. Argument didn't stop Hitler, did it? And it won't stop this lot.
Bah, Yek, you haven't half started something new.
Don't blame me. I'm only a working man.
Oh, go on. Don't tell me I haven't got a bobber to in that lot.
I keep telling you all I've got's the contract for the plumbing, and that's all.
All right. Where's the money coming from, then?
Well, from this fella Yardley, mostly, and Mike Baldwin and a couple of his mates.
Straight up, then, do you think it ever will get built?
Have you ever known anything beat money?
No, I suppose you're right.
They did say she'd come in tonight for the last couple of hours, didn't she, dear?
Yeah, she did, Mrs. Walker.
Oh, well, then you'll be able to manage without me. Only I must fly the flag at this protest meeting.
Very awkward, isn't it? You know, the brewery being on the other side.
It is, dear. But as John Wayne used to say, a woman's got to do what a woman's got to do.
I don't remember him saying that.
Well, he didn't, actually. He certainly should have, John.
Which one is it? They all look the same to me this morning.
Next one up.
Hey, mister, you got any goldfish?
You what?
You got any goldfish?
Goldfish?
Well, my mum said next time you come round, she'd give you a pair of my dad's old trousers and I could have a goldfish.
Well, not rag and bone men, love.
Oh? Well, you look like the rag and bone men.
Come on, Stepso. Let's go.
Flaming rag and bone men.
Hey, do you know how to tell a rag and bone man? He has a long black overcoat, a Homburg hat and a silk scarf, all right?
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, I want a sweet thing here, Eddie. Hello, love.
Oh, hello. What are you doing here?
Well, I brought me things, you know, like you said.
Oh, dear.
What do you mean, oh dear?
Well, I wish you'd have let me know. Could have saved you the trouble.
What trouble?
Well, I've got me Mr. Johnson stopping here now, haven't I?
Well, who's he when he's at home?
He's my new lodger. Well, not really new. I used to know him years ago, and he's just come back into my life.
Listen, when I saw you last time, you told me to come anytime. I said, then say if you've got someone else, I said. Doesn't matter, you said. That...
Don't shout. He's very jealous.
I don't give a damn how jealous it is. I've called it...
Hey, have you seen the size of them long johns?
Well, you could have me back bedroom, only... Well, he's more than just a lodger, is Mr. Johnson. To tell you the truth, I've got expectations.
Yeah, well, congratulations.
There'll always be a cup of tea for you here when you're on the bins.
Thanks very much. Come on, Eddie.
Didn't you sell anything then?
No, she didn't want to buy nothing today. Hey, does your mum want to lodge you?
Dunno. She's out at work. I'll ask my dad. He's a wrestler.
Come on, let's get out of here while we're still breathing.
Thirlmere, from the slopes of Helvellyn.
Thirlmere from the slopes of Helvellyn.
Thirlmere from the slopes of Helvellyn.
Very nice.
And that's Buttermere, isn't it?
Buttermere? No, that's not Buttermere. That's Crummock Water from Brackenthwaite Fell.
He knows everything.
He does, doesn't he?
Well, I still say they all look alike to me. I mean, once you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Oh, far from it, far from it. They each have their own individual characteristics. I mean, take Windermere, for example. Trees marching down to the water's edge, gentle reflections in the placid water, crystal pools in the living rock, unbridled nature.
That's telling you.
Sorry.
Well, there's no need to apologise. It's just a question of what sort of temperament you've got. I mean, if you've got an artistic temperament...
Like what he has.
Like I have, then lakes are, Aladdin's caves of inspiration.
Doesn't he put things well?
He does. But now in an artistic temperament, I still say they all look alike. Haven't you got any of the youth hostel?
I left my cardigan. They sent it back.
What did I tell you? I told you. They'll find out, I said. Now, I'm not saying anything against her. I mean, she did her best. She really did. But she just misses that last ounce of staying power.
Well, I don't think that's very fair, Victor. I put up with that tent much longer than many another girl would have done. I mean, it was terribly claustrophobic.
But that's where the romance was.
Oh, no, he doesn't mean it like that.
Like what?
Oh, well, it's over and done with now, all right. We spent the last 2 nights in a youth hostel, and I don't care if the whole world knows it.
Now, don't get touchy.
I don't get touchy.
All right, all right. Ah, no lakes, just mountains in all their majesty.
Very nice.
It's also upside down.
Now what am I going to do?
Oh, stop griping. You still got a roof over your head, haven't you?
Not the right roof, though, is it? That set me heart on going there. What the heck's she playing at?
Look, you heard what she said about the Incredible Hulk, didn't you? He's just come back into her life. Just be thankful he didn't come back into her life while you were upstairs in bed. He'd have wrapped the bed round your neck and put you through the window.
Well, they were a size them long johns, weren't they? That none better off away. Flaming women. God, talk about between the devil and the deep blue sea.
Haven't you gone yet? What game are you playing?
My room's not ready yet.
Heck, it's taken her long enough. Well, I'm blowed if I'm going back home again. You'd have me up and down that street like a yo-yo. Anyway, I'll start upstairs. And I hope I can open that window. I'll bet them bedrooms haven't been aired since Adam were a lad.
I hope you can open the window as well, and why not it lean out of it too far?
We're 10 minutes late already.
Well, I should think that's just about par for the course. They'll dribble in when they're ready.
I could have had another half hour at home. Mike Yarwood's on, and I like Mike Yarwood. It's not as if this will do any good. Protest meetings, you can protest as much as you like. There's only one thing will stop them, and I've told you what that is. A wall of living flesh.
Yes, well, we'll give this a try and see what happens, shall we? Though nothing much seems to be at the moment.
Perhaps they're going to the wrong room. Shall I go and see?
No, there's no need. Deirdre's playing usherette.
Oh.
And she seems to be pushing them in the right direction. Good evening. Good evening. 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 Here come the opposition.
You don't need me, do you?
No, not if you don't want to stay.
All right, tell you what, I'll go to the Rovers, see if I can root out some of the men.
Good idea. They do seem to be rather conspicuous by their absence.
Seen a bit.
Right, wish me luck.
Oh, good luck.
Good evening.
Evening. Mr. Baldwin?
Yeah?
Pamela Mitchell, Weatherfield Recorder. The Free Press? We've been out for some time. You should have seen us.
Yes, I have. It's very good.
Thank you. I have an idea that I'm sure will interest you. If the disco goes through...
When the disco goes through.
Sorry, when the disco goes through, we'd like to do a feature in the opening week. I take it you'd cooperate.
Yeah, of course I would. I'd like you to meet my associate, Mr. Yardley.
Hello, Mr. Yardley. What we particularly like are the names of all your contractors, suppliers, any commercial firm that helps in any way to build the disco or fit it out, so that we can approach them in good time and ask them if they want to buy space. And wish you good luck, you know, this sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that for you.
Thank you very much. May I leave you my card?
Yeah, sure.
Nice to have met you.
And you.
Bye.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Apologies, Mr. Chairman.
Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry we're a bit late starting, and I'm going to ask you to be patient for a few more minutes. I understand there are one or two local residents who would like to have been here on time, but have been prevented by other commitments.
All I'm asking is an hour of your time. Surely you can give up drinking for an hour. There'll be plenty of time to get stoned out your minds later.
If it's support you want, you won't need me.
No, you can stop where you are.
You won't be needing me neither.
I will.
You won't be getting me.
Well, suit yourself. You don't come to the meeting, you don't get no supper.
Right, I'll buy a pie here. But I'm not going to any meeting.
Oh, blow you then. Eddie, what about you?
Oh, go on then.
Hilda, a murderess. She's all for it.
You don't have to say anything. Just sit there and look as if you're protesting.
Yeah, that shouldn't be too hard for you, Stanley. Give us a couple of cans to take out, will you, Betty?
We'll come, won't we, Vic?
Well, I'm not really involved, am I?
Well, we weren't involved with baby seals, but we supported the campaign.
Well, I didn't say I wasn't coming.
Oh, well, let's be having you then, because we're ready to start.
Oh, thanks, love. You've been a great help.
Oh, I'm sorry, Betty, but you see how it is.
No, I mean it, love. I'm not being sarky. I mean, I could cope on my own with Len and Albert, especially Albert's 2 halves a night.
I thought you weren't being sarky.
Come on, if you come in.
All right, give us a chance.
Chuck 'em out, Betty.
I will. Go on. Go on. Okay, my love. Hey, I'm up to you.
I'm in a hurry.
Never mind, Inori. What's going on at Tom's? There's lights all over the place.
Well, he's still there, isn't he?
How do you mean still there? He's supposed to have flitted this morning.
Look, don't tell him I told you, but he's not going. She's got another lodger.
The silly goon. Why didn't he say?
I think he was afraid you'd laugh.
Me laugh? What have I got to laugh at?
Thank you.
Mr. Boulder.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your patience and welcome. And in particular, welcome to the gentlemen from the press, to Councillors Roberts and Winstanley, and to Mr. Baldwin and Mr. Yardley from the consortium. Now, you all know the point at issue. Briefly, permission is being sought from the council to open a discotheque on Rosamond Street, directly opposite Coronation Street.
Yes.
Now, while it is not denied that this may be a benefit to some local residents, it is, without question, going to present grave disadvantages to many. This is mainly a residential area, and the problems of parking and late-night noise cannot be overstressed. Now, it is not the wish of this small committee to present a one-sided view. There are pros and cons to every argument. But, having canvassed the area, we are convinced that the vast majority of people are against this scheme. Not only for the reason that I have given, but also for the other reasons that I hope you are going to express here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your meeting. Now, if you wish to speak, please raise your hand and I will do my best to take you in order. Oh, and would you identify yourselves, please? Let's give your name and address, if you would. Thank you. Mrs. Walker.
Anne Walker, the Rose Return, Coronation Street.
Now, as my own brewery have a financial stake in this venture, I find it difficult to oppose on economic grounds. However, I do feel that there are strong moral reasons why I should join Mr. Barlow in his protest. There is a vast difference between the public house and the discotheque. The public house is an established part of the community with all the responsibilities that entails. The discotheque is a purely commercial venture. Now, while we, in the traditional licensed trade, keep a very watchful eye on teenage drinking, I doubt if the same control is exercised in discotheques. Inconsiderate parking, noise at night, they're evils enough. But they are nothing when compared to the possible moral destruction of the youth of this area. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yes? Yardley, Cavendish Lane.
Got enough brass if you live up there.
I take Mrs. Walker's point, but she condemns us out of hand. I have 3 teenage daughters of my own, and I'm well aware of my responsibilities. Maybe some discos are slack. This one won't be.
No.
It'll be well staffed by experienced people who will keep as sharp an eye on the bar as Mrs. Walker or any of her staff.
It's me again.
Who else? What do you want?
I want to know what you're still doing here, don't I?
There's been itch.
Why? An itch?
That's what I said, an itch.
Oh. So you'll be going tomorrow then, eh?
Could be, aye.
Aye. And then again, you couldn't be. Stop playing silly beggars. She's jilted you. Got herself another fella. I had to laugh. And I don't look like that. I told you often enough. I said she's not fit to be trusted as far as you could throw her. And that's not fair.
If you've come out just to rub salt in my wounds...
I haven't come to rub salt in your wounds. I'm here to help. You're the nearest thing to family I've got. And it's my bounded duty. I know you, Tom Whiteley. You're helpless. So it's make your mind up time, isn't it? It's me starving to death.
I've got a choice, then.
Let me make it absolutely clear that the council is absolutely impartial. Now, an application has been made and that application is being studied. My colleague and I have listened very carefully to what you've had to say tonight, and you can rest assured that your views will go to the planning committee and a decision taken in due course. And that's all I can say for the moment, Mr. Chairman. Oh, let me say a word, you know.
Doesn't it make you sick? They've got marks on the bottoms from sitting on the fence.
Not a pretty picture, but you're absolutely
Yeah.
right.
Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, thank you. We have to vacate the room by 9:30, so we just have time for one more speaker. Yes, madam.
I'd just like to ask a question. It's a sort of complaint, really.
Yeah, well, would you give your name and address, please?
I'd rather not.
Oh, quite sorry.
If you don't mind.
If the lady's afraid of getting a brick through her window, let me reassure her. We don't play games like that.
No.
So if she wants to complain, let her complain. But on the other hand, if you're thinking of saying something for the disco, then you could be in some sort of danger.
Well,
We'd rather know who you are.
well, Mrs. Mossop, 14 Kitchener Street. I'd like to know where we're expected to get the money. Because I've got husband on the dole, has been for 18 months. And I've got 2 teenage lads at home. Now, I know what'll happen. When this place is open, they'll want to go, because all the pals will go. It'll be a pound here and a pound there, and we just haven't got it. I think they're putting far too much temptation in the way of children these days. Records and discos and that. We just haven't got the money.
Thank you.
Don't expect this lot to care, love.
We care more than you think.
Oh, you care about lining your pockets.
Who's talking
Don't
about
give a damn about the kids or waking us up in the middle of the night. Not to mention your flaming cars parked all over the place. Tell us how much you're getting.
You want to be careful what you say. It's boiled down to...
Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen, thank you. The meeting is closed.
And those people...
The meeting is closed. Thank you.
See you later. Listen, if people like you that call us, you want to get back to Leningrad.
He's in your pocket.
It's nothing to do with that. Harry,
Exciting, isn't it? Sorry, Pamela Mitchell, Weatherfield Recorder.
Oh, hello. If it's a quote you're after, you can say, I'm sorry that a good meeting had to end in chaos, but at least the people have shown a resounding no, and it's up to our elected representatives to pay due heed.
Thank you very much. I was after a quote, and that'll do fine.
Oh, I'm glad you agree.
Oh, I agree with your sentiments, but not with your hopes, I'm afraid. Frankly, I don't think you stand a dog's chance. But it's been nice meeting you.
Right.
Yeah, but they shouldn't be late, though, should they?
Tell Mavis, she's doing them.
I mean, what's the point of having a newsagent when your own papers don't come?
Democracy is that. Anyway, what's going to be in them that's so special?
I just wanted to see what the papers made of that crazy meeting that Ken Barlow and his mob had the other night. That was a carry-on, wasn't it, eh?
Well, don't make yourself late waiting, will you? Got that new lad starting this morning.
I know.
Oh, you sound as if you wish he weren't.
Well, it's only faffing about, isn't it? Somebody fresh. I mean, by the time you've told them what to do, you might just as well have done the job yourself.
Well, I should have thought you'd have been glad of a bit of company.
I'll give it a whirl, eh? It's a bit like getting wed, though, isn't it, eh? You've got to wait a week or two before you find out whether you've done the right thing or not.
And then when you do, it's too late. I know the feeling exactly. Papers have come.
Anyway, I can always give him the boot if he doesn't come up to expectations, can I?
Easier said than done.
Eh?
Well, I mean, even if somebody doesn't come up to expectations, you often can't quite find it in yourself to get shut of them. At least that's my experience.
Oh, aye.
Here, catch.
Here, I want you to take notice of this.
What?
I'm early for once, and probably I've got 3 minutes in hand.
Well, knock it off your head.
They better not.
See, you spoke to it soon.
Drat me. Hey. Hello. Weatherfield 8825. Well, I'm not sure you can. Will you just hang on a minute? Thank you. It's for Sleeping Beauty. Susie!
It was late when I heard her come in.
Susie! Cool. Must be something to do with a clear conscience.
Oh, I think it's more to do with sleeping pills myself. Hey, look, you go, Elsie. I can take a message.
Ah, you're a good girl. Oh, paper's come early for once.
Hello? No, this isn't Susie. She's still asleep.
Paper.
Yeah, could you just hang on a minute while I find a pen?
I see. I'm off.
Oh, there, Elsie. Now, right, pen. Right, what was the message, please?
Nice bike, that. You race it, do you?
Yeah. Only I'm not as fast as the bike.
It's something I've never done, that, bike racing.
You can borrow it if you want to try.
It'd have to be all downhill. Oh, God. Are you any good at cleaning up?
Well,
You can have a go at this place. The last time it was cleaned up was about 1978, so it's about due, isn't it?
just my luck to choose the wrong year to start.
Hello?
Hey, and the first tip you get, mate, get out of here sharpish, because there's always somebody who wants something.
I'll remember.
Hey, thank goodness I've caught you, kid.
And what can we do for you today, Vera?
Oh, I was here then. Is it working for you then?
That's the general idea, yeah.
Hey, well, a bit of advice, kid. Next time you're out on a job and you look around, it's on a bunk, I'll tell you where it'll be. It'll be at Rover's Return, public bar, end of Coronation Street.
I remember that as well.
Is that all you've called for?
Well, main thing, yeah. But listen, kid, can you have a look at my cistern?
What's the matter with it?
Well, it's like leaking, you know, there's water coming through in the corner, you know.
Well, we can't do anything today. We can have a look at it, see what's wanted.
Well, if you won't mind, Glenn. But listen, can I leave my key and I'll collect it on my way home tonight?
Yeah, fine, yeah.
Oh, thanks, love. Now, you'll catch it, won't you? You see this key, don't you? It'll get you into anywhere, kid. It will. And come to think of it, my husband's on nights this week. Look, you can't even tell when he's blushing, can you?
It's a good job with you around, isn't it?
I know, I make myself blush sometimes, kid. Anyway, listen, I've spent enough time out already. And, you'll get me shot, you know. Keep me talking like this. Ta-ra, love.
See ya.
Hey, look, we got some plumbing to do in Earl Street first, and then we'll go and have a look at her precious cistern, eh?
Right.
By the way, that's Vera Duckworth, if you're at all interested.
She's a lot like my mum, really.
Well, say what you like. I don't think that'll does you any harm.
I don't know that it does us a great deal of good.
There.
Trouble over disco plans.
Trouble, yeah. That's all they're interested in. Have a look at that picture. It's more like a rugby scrum than a meeting.
Morning.
Morning.
Hello, love. That's his list, lovey, and that's exact money.
Right, thanks.
And there's more in there on those two kids who threw that brick than there is on what was said at the meeting.
Oh, give up.
Oh, hey, is this that protest do we had?
Yeah.
I heard they were a Barney.
Yeah, yeah, you see?
Yeah, I've been at worse blooming council meetings than that, I have.
Well, Elsie said she enjoyed it. I was sorry I didn't go, but I thought it'd just be people making speeches and that.
Oh, well, at least we brought enjoyment to somebody. I suppose that's an achievement.
Oh, I think you achieved a bit more than that, Ken.
Do you honestly think we did enough to stop it?
Oh, I don't know, Ken. Let's just say, if anybody was laying odds, I wouldn't know which side to put my money on.
Hi, hiya. Not we having any dinner then?
Well, I'm not. You suit yourself, but you have.
Hey, have you not seen this?
What?
Message I took for you.
No?
Terry's got your address. Sorry, Kim. It was before I went to work. You were still in bed, so I said I could take a message.
You had no right, did you?
Hey! If someone's supposed to speak to me, it's me they want to speak to.
We did shout you.
You didn't shout loud enough, did you? You are stupid. Now, just hang on a minute. What time was this? What time did Kim ring here? Look, I'm not going to be talked to like this, Susie. I thought I was doing you a favour taking a message, but never again. Oh, no. I said, what time? 8:30. Oh, my God, that's hours. Only you were still asleep. So I thought I'd be helpful and take a message. But I don't see why that makes me stupid. I don't. So when you're ready to apologise, Susie, I'll be ready to listen.
I'll tell you the truth, Mrs. Hunt, since it's you.
Go on.
Well, I mean, we're getting on with the round okay. I mean, me doing upstairs, Stanley doing downstairs, like.
Do you know I've heard of specialisation? But he must be the only window cleaner in the world who has to keep one foot on the floor.
Yeah, but the thing is, you see, well, there isn't enough money for the two of us. Not really, there isn't.
No, well, there can't be, can there?
Oh, hiya.
That girl, I'll swing for her one of these days. If you try and do her a good turn and get called all sorts for it.
What, Susie Birdshaw?
Yeah.
Oh, I knew it.
Oh, you two aren't at it again, are you?
I'm not. No, it's her that thinks she owns the place and everybody in it.
Well, she always did. I've had to teach her manners a time or two myself.
Give us half a lager, will you, Betty?
Right, love.
I mean, the way she talks, I'm going to have it out with her, I am.
Well, quite right. Only thing she respects is a right mouthful.
Eddie, that today's can I have a deco?
Yeah, be my guest.
Right, 29 pence, please, love.
Here and another.
Yeah, why not?
A large whiskey, please, Harry, and another pint.
Oh, this is great, I mean, 99% of people reading this would think it was all our fault. Hey, listen to this. Trouble over disco plans. Local opposition plans to convert an unused warehouse into a disco and wine bar came to a head this week at a protest meeting. Frayed tempers led to several heated exchanges, and the meeting ended in disorder with arguments continuing as people left.
£1.80, please.
Oh, top.
Strength of feeling can be judged by the fact that a brick had earlier been thrown through a nearby factory window. The factory was owned by a Mr. Michael Baldwin, a member of the consortium behind the Disco and Wine Bar project. That's great, isn't it, eh? Great.
All publicity, I would have thought.
Oh, yes, some of it, yeah, but I mean, bricks through windows, arguments we can do without that sort of thing. Thanks, mate.
Some of us would agree only too readily that we could do without the whole thing.
It's all a storm in a teacup anyway, isn't it? I mean, it'll all be forgotten by tomorrow.
Think it'll still go through?
Listen, if I was a betting man and I'd had money on you from the start, Mike, there's nothing in that paper that made me want to switch now.
Really?
I said I'm used to having a drip in my bedroom. I don't want in my bathroom as well.
Yeah, well, Bert used to be very handy at that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, Jack's useless. He always has been.
Well, you've got them paper up and have a look at it, haven't you?
Yeah, but I'll have to pay for him, won't I? I mean, who these plumbers charge? And he's got a young lad working with him now. It'll be his time and all.
Has he set somebody on?
Yeah, a black lad, a nice lad. A bit quiet, you know. Anyway, where's Elsie? I thought she said she was going to join us. She's late.
But why?
I just am.
Well, where are you going?
I'm not sure.
Hey, Susie.
What?
Look, I know you're going to tell me to mind my own business and I'm not your mother and all that sort of thing. But I just can't stand here and say that when suddenly, for no unexpected reason, you decide you can't wait to get out of here. Look, I know I can't stop you. I wouldn't want to anyway. But I would have thought if out had cropped up, if you're in trouble of any sort, well, I thought at least you might have wanted to tell me.
Marion took that this morning.
But somebody had to take it. You weren't stirring. Terry's got your address. Is this what this is all about? Is it?
Yes.
Go on.
Terry's this bloke I knew in London.
And?
Well, I suppose I was a bit keen on him for a while. Well, we got on all right.
And then?
And then we didn't. So I left him. But he wouldn't stay left. He just kept following me around, finding out everywhere I was. So in the end, I just left London. That's why I came back here.
I see.
Well, I thought that'd be the end of it. At least he wouldn't follow me up here.
Well, who says he's going to?
Oh, that says...
Well, all that says is that Terry's got hold of your address.
I rang Kim. It was her that rang here this morning. She was a girlfriend of mine.
And?
And she said that Terry had been to her place. Just shows what kind of a creep he is. He just grabbed her diary, went through it till he found my name and this address.
Oh, it's a long way to come, love.
Elsie, you don't know him. It's the sort of daft thing he would do, just get in his car and come up here. He could be on his way now.
All right, steady on.
Elsie, I'm frightened of him. I am. And there is no way I'm going to stop here and wait for him to knock on that door.
Stick 'em on there, mate. It's dinner time.
I brought some sandwiches.
Did you? You know, that's the difference between you and me. I'm married and no one makes me out. You're not fed up with the job yet, then?
Give us a chance.
I mean, we don't go poking round drains every day, you know?
No, it was interesting. I enjoyed it.
You what?
Well,
You're not supposed to enjoy it. You're just supposed to get on with it. I tell you what, we'll have a brew, shall we? I'll slake me thirst before I go down to Rovers to have a pint while you're cleaning up here.
right, Mr. Fairclough.
So what do you expect to get out of this job?
Well, I'll get a job for one thing, and then, if I stick it, well, like you said, I'd have learned a trade, won't I?
And then what? You'll go off and start up in business on your own, will you?
Dunno. I've got an uncle who says you never get rich working with somebody else. But that's his excuse for never working at all.
What's in your butties, then?
Cheese, do you want one?
Yeah, why not? And then I suppose you're going to learn all you can from me. Then you're going to kick me into touch and start up on your own, eh?
Well, I might find you a bit of a job sweeping up if you were desperate.
Yeah. Then you'll get married. You can have a lot of kids and carry on the whole ridiculous system forever.
I haven't thought about that.
Hey, when did I get married?
Dunno.
No, but I'm supposed to, aren't I? And I'll tell you something, I've forgotten the flipping wedding anniversary.
Yeah?
Yes, and she let me forget, didn't she? She didn't say a dicky bird. Hey, you're no good at getting anniversary presents, are you?
Nope.
No! You're my flipping apprentice, aren't you? What's the good of me having you and doing all the dirty work myself?
Are you sure you're under no obligation to him?
What do you mean?
Well, you don't owe him money or out like that.
No.
I see. Just won't take no for an answer, eh?
He doesn't know the meaning of the word. What's that?
Oh, come on. He just couldn't walk straight in like that, could he? See?
No. I've come for an apology and I'm not leaving here until I get one.
Oh, what's all this again?
I'm sorry, Elsie, in your house and all, but I don't have to take being called stupid by her. I mean, all I was trying to do was to be helpful and take a message.
Ah, yes. Well, that message that you took, it wasn't as straightforward as it looked.
Look, I am sorry. Whatever I said, I'm sorry, all right?
Can I tell her?
If you like.
Well, that message that you took...
Yeah?
Well, it's this fella she met in London. It seems he's trying to follow her down here. I came and she was packing her bags to go.
You don't want him to find you? Is that it?
That's it, exactly.
But what can he do? I mean, well, he can't make you go, can he? Not with Elsie and
Well,
me.
that's
he
what I
can't.
keep trying to tell her.
I mean, do you think we just sit here and let him?
But you might not always be here.
Well, we'll have to make sure that we are, won't we?
Yeah.
I mean, you might get sick of the sight of us, love, but nobody will get any nearer to you than us.
I don't know.
Look, kid, odds on he won't show. But if he does, it'll probably be all for the best. Get it cleared up once and for all. You can't go running around the country looking backwards over your shoulder all the time. I mean, how long do you think you can keep that game up?
Okay, I'll stop and see what happens.
And we'll be here to make sure now it does happen.
Thank you, love.
Good, love.
Here we are. And the sewing room order this afternoon is?
It's 3 custard tarts, 4 eggless cakes, 2 almond slices, a packet of ginger biscuits, a bag of sugar, oh, and a banana for me, and can I pay you later?
How the heck do you remember all that?
I have to keep saying it to myself coming across road.
Hey, I tell you what, though, there can't be that many firms that send a supervisor out for a snap.
Oh, I send myself. Listen, it's a walk and a bit of fresh air, isn't it? Oh, yes, and Davy, I know there was something I'm going to sell up. You can tell your Ken that I think he's absolutely right about this disco. I've read that article in paper. I mean, what do we want with a palaver like that, eh? Cracky, it's caused enough fuss. I mean, they haven't even started it yet, have they?
That's one of your constituents speaking.
And it's one of his best customers and all.
Yeah, well, I've had my say. I can see good and bad in all of it. But you can't please all the people all the time, can you?
Oh, some folk try. 2 almond slices,
Yes,
was it?
please, love. No, I tell you what, there's a lot against it at work. Well, them that live round here anyway. In fact, majority's against it.
Well, Ken will be very pleased to hear that. Thanks very much. Don't look, I'm not here, right? Packet of fags out, please.
What do you think you're doing?
Like I said, I'm not here. Look, I've run out of fags, and there's no way I can last over there till 5:30 without.
Pound of fault was what the top.
Well, you look to be here to me, Vera. And you look to be here to Mr. Baldwin and all if he catches you.
But he won't, will he? Look, I've been beamed over in a different dimension. Right, beam us up, Ida.
She's puddled that one, I swear she is.
I tell you, it's harder work with 2 than it is with 1.
Oh, he did turn up then, your new mate.
Oh, I was there before me.
How was he?
Oh, keen, eager to learn.
Well, that can't be bad, can it?
Oh, he's a bit of a binder, you know. He keeps asking questions.
Oh, and you have to answer them?
Yeah.
No wonder you're tired.
What's for tea, then?
Funny you should mention that.
Why?
Well, I was wondering if you'd like to take me out for a meal tonight.
Why would I want to do that?
Well, let's see. Could be because that's the only way you're going to get out to eat tonight. Or could be to make up for the fact you've forgotten our wedding anniversary. It's a big laugh to you, isn't it? Well, you're going to pay for it tonight, no mistake.
Happy anniversary.
Oh, you remembered all the time.
Well, I didn't want to embarrass you, and I knew that you'd forgotten.
We're as daft as one another, aren't we? Come here.
You like it, then?
I do. It's lovely. I tell you what, so I can wear it tonight.
Hello, here we go. I've got to take you out again, Amber,
No,
just so that you
listen,
can show it off and I'll go in
listen.
the rovers.
My treat.
You what?
I'll pay.
You mean I can eat all I want, drink all I want, and you're picking up the tab?
Yep.
You're on.
Right. Thank you.
Here we are.
Did she say where she was going?
No, I just think she wanted to get out of the house, that's all. You know, go walk about.
Yeah. Still, it's been a nice afternoon, thank goodness. It's worse than working in a fish shop as a flower shop when it's cold, you know. Can't have any heating. I'll get that. I saw the flowers go off.
Do you know, that's something I never thought of.
Hello, it's Susie and I'm Terry Goodwin.
Oh, you just hang on a minute. Elsie, it's him.
What?
That Terry Susie was going on about.
Sit down, I'll see to it. And what can we do for you?
I'm sorry to disturb you. I hope I haven't called at an awkward time.
Were you looking for Susie Birchall?
Yes.
Yes, well, I'm afraid any time would be an awkward time.
Ah, I have got the right address then.
Oh, yes, you've got the right address. Just one thing. Susie isn't in. And for another, even if she were, I don't think she'd want to see you.
Oh, dear. Only I've come a long way, you see. I've been on the road since 2.
Seems like you've wasted your time, doesn't it?
It does.
Oh, come on in.
Well, I don't want to be any trouble.
You won't be. Sit yourself down.
Oh, thanks.
Do you want a cup of tea?
Oh, I'm dying for one, tell you the truth.
Well, now that you're here, you might as well stop till Susie comes back. Say your little piece.
I'd be very grateful. Oh, thanks.
There's just one thing, and I'm telling you straight.
Yeah?
If Susie doesn't want to talk, no argument. You go on your way, quietly.
Oh, of course. Right.
Sugar?
No, thanks.
Hello, what are you two dolled up for?
I'm taking him out to celebrate our wedding anniversary.
What he's trying to say is that we usually look like a couple of old tramps.
Oh, no, I'm not. What I'm saying is that one of you usually looks like a couple of tramps.
Oh.
What you having?
Well, I'll have a pint for that.
And I'll have a vodka tonic, please.
A vodka and tonic and a pint, please. Betty.
OK, my love. Well, then, how many years is it?
6.
Really? Well, you both look very well on it, I must say. Now, you must have these drinks on me.
That's kind of
yeah.
ridiculous.
Thank you, Mrs. Ward.
And what about you, Mr. Baldwin? Can I get another one for you to complete the round?
You know me, Mrs. Walker. I'm not even married.
Well, then, I think, although you might be the least deserving, you might be the most in need.
I can't deny that.
Anniversary.
Why don't you crack on, it's yours? Maybe we'll all get a drink then.
We would any road if they'd got out about them. Now, next big one we've got coming up's us, Ruby.
Well, that's 40 years. You've not been married 40 years, have you?
Oh, no, not for a year or two yet. But I were very young when I were wed, you know. Ooh, I knew now. I was as green as grass when I fell over Stan's legs in the black house.
You still got a bit of time, as you say, but for this thing of rubies.
Ooh, bottle of ruby wine, more like.
It's a long time, though, isn't it? Well, if me and Marion will ever get to that.
You're not getting you.
Why?
Well, you don't get any anniversaries if you don't get yourself wed first.
So it's not today, then? Well, not from what I've just heard, no. I mean, the actual anniversary was a few days ago. They've only just started to remember it. Well, I don't suppose we can ask them to pay for the drinks now, can we?
Good night, then.
Oh, good night, love.
Good night, Mr.
Baldwin.
Baldwin. There you are, you see. If there was a discotheque at the end of the road, you'd have somewhere to go after, wouldn't you?
Oh, don't you worry about us. We'll be all right, don't you worry.
Right, see you then.
Bye.
Ta-da.
Evening. Oh, I see the press was on your side then.
Oh, I don't think they're on anybody's, were they?
No, they made it sound like bad news. Never mind, it was your lot that were doing all the shouting and throwing the odd brick.
I didn't write it.
No, you could have made a much better job if you had them.
What do you want?
A grapefruit
I
and
thought that, you
gin
know.
and tonic, please.
Well, the way it read in paper, that the whole idea had been nothing but trouble from start to finish.
Let's hope the council don't get the same idea for all our sakes. I'll tell you something else, I know.
What?
If that job doesn't come through, young Mr. Valentine will be serving a lot shorter apprenticeship than he bargained for.
Oh, then you wouldn't sack him, would you?
Wouldn't have any choice.
Are you working?
Sales rep, polishes, cleaning fluids, that sort of thing. I have other plans, though. I mean, that's just for the meantime.
You stay there. I'll see to this. Susie.
Hiya.
Look, it's all right. Don't worry, but he's here.
Oh, God, Elsie.
No, it's all right.
Look, I've told you I don't want to see
Oh,
him.
it's all right, I tell
Susie!
you. Oh, you're clever, aren't you?
I only want us to talk. Can't be any harm in that, can there?
I've heard all that before.
Well, let's face it. We can't carry on like this, can we?
No, we can't, because there's nothing to carry on about. I have told you I don't want to see you. I don't want to talk to you.
You can't just say that.
I've just said it.
Oh, come on.
Now, look, you. Remember what I told you when I told you you could stay?
She can't just refuse to talk to me.
Well, I think she can.
Yeah. Look, I'm going. We're back when he's out this house.
No, it's him that's going.
I'll tell you why she can't refuse to talk to me, shall I?
No.
Because she's my wife. That's why. We're married. And she's my wife.
Morning, boy. What happened then? Did she come back or didn't she? We'd gone to when I got off and she hadn't landed then. Oh, it was after 3. You know, it's funny. I thought of a million reasons why she should suddenly and unexpectedly come back here. But never run away from her husband. That was the last thing I thought of.
Well, what I can't get over is how she never said a word. I mean, all this time. How could anyone keep being married a secret?
Yeah, well, that's Susie, isn't it? I hope she doesn't like it, she blanks it out. She's probably convinced herself by now that this never happened.
I mean, he's not my type. He's a bit too flash for me. But it didn't seem all that bad. I mean, to have cleared off on him the way she did. I must be honest, Elsie, I felt a bit sorry for him last night.
Yeah, well, I've seen you look better.
Oh, I'd sell my mother for that.
Oh, be my guest. Where did you go to when you flounced out on us last night?
I did not flounce. I was upset. Just wanted as much distance between me and him as I could get. So I went to a wine bar and met this bloke and went to a club, you know.
Yeah, I know. I get the general picture.
I wasn't enjoying myself, just something to do. So go on. What did he say after I'd left?
Not a lot. He just left.
He didn't make a scene?
No. He didn't seem like that two-headed monster to me that you told me. Not enough to justify all that drama. You don't know him, Elsie, I do. Well, if he was such a diabolical monster, why did you marry him in the first place? I assume that part of it was true.
Oh, yes, that part's true, unfortunately. How did it happen, Susie?
All too easily. Oh, yeah, girl meets plenty of fellas in London. But they're all married, gay, or on the make. Terry seemed, well, different. Made me feel special. He had a good job at the time, and he was free. And we fancied each other.
And you were lonely?
So, when he said, let's get married, it seemed like a great idea. All more exciting for being so daft. We'd known each other a couple of weeks.
So what went wrong, then, with this whirlwind romance?
Everything. The minute I moved in his flat, everything changed. All the fussing, all the attention. He lost his job. He didn't rush out to get another one. I mean, why should he? He had his social security and a wife earning good money at the casino. I was a skivvy, and he was on velvet.
Oh, well, that'll make a change, won't it? I mean, it's you that's usually laying back and some other poor mug doing the running about for you.
Oh, Elsie.
I was in love. Or I thought I was. Have you done nothing stupid when you were in love? Or have you forgotten? Is it too far back to remember?
Now, look! Stop it, you two. This isn't getting anybody anywhere.
Well, I'm getting a fatter of sympathy, aren't I?
Well, go on, then. Is that where you left him after 5 minutes? Because he was a bit on the idle side?
He had a temper as well.
Oh, and of course, madam, you're always sweetness and light, aren't you?
Oh, no, I've got a temper. I'm having trouble controlling it right now. But I don't go around thumping people, do I?
He hit you?
You know, it's funny. When I read about battered wives, I thought about poor, pathetic little females who have the guts to stand up for themselves. Listen, do you mind if I go back to bed? I feel lousy.
And what about fella, me lad? He'll be coming back, you know.
Then tell him I've emigrated. Marion, you tell him we've got an honest face.
But surely you'll have to see him sometime. He is your husband.
Only on paper as far as I'm concerned, and the quicker that is ripped up, the better.
What a mess. I feel dead sorry for her, Elsie.
You meant to.
Oh, I know in the past she's always well exaggerated a bit. Surely she wouldn't lie about something like this.
Wouldn't she?
You don't believe her, then?
Well, there are two sides to every story. And I'd like to hear his side before I make up my mind.
But she's your friend, Elsie. You've known her a long time.
Precisely.
Are you having any?
No. Ate enough last night to last me 6 months.
Yeah, it was a good do, though, wasn't it?
Yes, even if a bit belated.
I keep telling you. I was waiting all week for you to remember.
I'll have to ask Mavis how to do them little bits of place. Goujons. Still, I don't think I'll bother. A bit messy for me.
Ah, well, that's the whole point of eating out, though, isn't it? It's something that you don't usually get at home.
Yes, like a husband asking me to have a liqueur and talking to me when he's finished eating instead of dashing off to put telly on.
Morning.
Come in, mate. Come here. Come here, sit down. Wait till I finish this with you. I'm a bit behind this morning.
Did you have a late night? By Mr. Fairclough's standards, anything after 10 o'clock's a late night. Now, do you want anything? Cup of tea, piece of toast?
No, Tar. I've had mine.
You wouldn't think to look at Mr. Fairclough, would you? You'd be a real swinger. Go on, I won't embarrass you.
That's what I get for buying her a present and taking her out.
Oh, it was for your wedding anniversary then. Happy anniversary, Mrs. Fairclough.
Thank you. How did you know about it?
Mr. Fairclough mentioned it yesterday. He just remembered. Good job he did, eh, Mr. Fairclough?
Yes, wasn't it?
I see you've still got them daft orange lines in the road, Hilda.
Well, I didn't put them there.
No, but you're standing and you're in charge of him.
In charge of him? He's a fella, not a flipping time monkey.
That's not the impression I get sometimes. No, go on, Hilda. Get Eddie to help him. You know, you can still see him. They could get in trouble, you know.
Get in trouble? When are they ever out of it? All right, I'll see what I can do.
That's right. Put in a bit of overtime nagging, Hilda.
Oh, I don't have to nag. No, I just withdraw my services for a few days.
What of, Hilda?
Of my chip pan.
Hi.
Morning, Miss Foley.
Morning, Mike.
Didn't expect to see you here. I just popped in on the off chance.
Yeah, well, I'm here.
And it's today the council decide whether we go ahead or not.
Yeah, I'm aware.
So why aren't you down at the town hall?
Well, doing what? I'm not on the committee.
Well, you could be doing a spot of lobbying, persuading the waivers. There's always 3 or 4 people sitting on the fence not knowing which side to jump. Could be crucial.
I think Alf's already done as much as he can in that direction. I mean, you can only influence things your own way so far, you know.
I do know.
Yeah, well, perhaps now's the time to sit back and see if common sense prevails.
Oh, dear. Who's that talking, you or your husband?
Both of us, as it happens.
Well, I'm keeping my fingers crossed they'll let you open the disco, Mr. Baldwin.
Yeah, well, you would, wouldn't you, Hilda? I mean, you're after a job.
So, not wrong in that, is there?
No, I suppose not. We've all got to survive one way or another.
Certainly have. It's a hard world.
Still, the local press weren't in favour of it.
I don't care. There are lots of people that are. And as you say, let's hope common sense prevails. You'll let me know as soon as you find out, will you?
Aye. Oh, heck, I wish they'd never started this. What sort of soup did you want, Hilda?
Tomato.
It's all right. Come in.
Oh, I hope I'm not interrupting.
No, I've just finished. Do you want a cup of tea?
Oh, thanks, if it's no trouble.
Oh, sit yourself down. She's not in.
Oh, I see. Well, perhaps it's just as well. Gives me a chance to talk to you. As I said, Mrs. Tanner, I'm sorry about bursting in on you like this, but it is important to me.
I can imagine.
Only you are one of Susie's best friends, you know. She used to talk about you a lot.
Oh, heaven help me.
She admires you. She'd listen to you.
Well, if she does, it'll be for the first time.
I don't think you mean that.
No, I don't suppose I do, not really. I suppose from time to time she's needed what you would call motherly advice, and she's taken it.
She's got no one else, really.
Tell me about it.
What's she told you?
Well, I want to find out about you.
I don't want to try and influence you, but Susie can exaggerate a bit.
Terry, I do know Susie. I want to hear your side of the story.
Fair enough. Well, point one, I love her.
That's a good start.
I do know we were a bit insane to get married as quickly as we did. We should have got to know each other better first, but I don't think that would have made any difference. I reckon we'd have still ended up together. We're right for each other.
Susie doesn't seem to think that way.
Well, we went through a bad patch. When we met, I got a good job. Company car, expense account. Oh, I don't mean that's just why she married me, but, well, you know Susie, she does enjoy the good things in life.
Yeah, I can't deny that.
But then so do I. I suppose that's part of the attraction. We're so much alike. Anyway, then I got made redundant, along with thousands of others. And all of a sudden, my golden prospects didn't seem quite that golden.
Oh, she wouldn't leave you just because of that.
No, but that's when the rot set in. I know it was partly my fault. I admit I got a bit moody. I wouldn't go out. I didn't even want to look for another job, I suppose, because I was scared of being rejected. I've always hated failure. I'm working now. Nothing spectacular, but it's a start. I'll get back on top again.
Well, good luck to you. I hope you do.
Thanks. Only it'd be a whole lot easier if Susie were with me. Then I'd really have some incentive.
Well, right now, Susie doesn't even want to talk to you.
Then you talk to her, please.
Terry, tell me something. And I want the truth.
Of course.
You said you could be moody. How moody?
Well, very. I know some days I was an absolute pig. Poor old Susie.
Bad enough to be violent?
Violent? Well, I admit one day I did chuck a plate of egg and chips at the wall. I suppose it's no excuse, but that was sheer blasted frustration.
Well, Susie, could you be violent to her?
Mrs. Tanner. Elsie. Can I call you Elsie? It's how I think of you. It's what Susie always calls you. I wouldn't hurt her. I love her. She's my wife, and I want her back. It's as simple as that. Just tell her that from me. Please.
Hello. Hello.
Well, Ken, today's the big day, isn't it?
In the sense that it's decision day, you mean? Yes, I suppose it is.
Decision about what? The council are voting on the proposed discotheque.
It was all in paper with that reporter from that public meeting that Ken organised. Don't you take any interest in what's going off in world?
Of course I do. I know who's co-star is. I know how many husbands Elizabeth Taylor's had, and another secret of how Lady Diana keeps her hats on in high winds. Go on, ask me, go on.
Personally, I don't think we've any need to worry. The council will see the folly of it.
Well, I hope so, Mrs. Walker.
Thank you.
Oh, right, thanks, Tom. Well, thanks for letting me know anyway. Yeah. OK, I'll see you. So long.
Well?
Well, it won't be too bad. You know, it'll be quite convenient having a live little place where you can go for a night out without Ken having to worry about driving home after.
They've passed it, then?
Well, just by a little majority, yeah. Oh, don't look so strict, love. It's not the end of the world, you know.
It's me husband I'm thinking about, Alf. What's he going to say when he finds out he's lost? And to Mike Baldwin.
Pity you weren't here 5 minutes sooner. You just missed your old man.
Don't call him that.
Your husband, then. Do you like that any better?
Elsie, you determined to be as rotten to me as you can be. Do you think this is some sort of a game?
No, I do not. It's you that thinks it's a game, madam. You always have done. Your jobs, your fellas, and now your marriage. Well, I'll tell you something, madam. He is taking it a little bit more seriously.
Oh, come on. What tale has he told you?
I haven't got time now. I'm late back.
Please, Elsie, what has he said?
He loves you and he wants you back.
And he's going to love me and cherish me for the rest of my days?
Yes, something like that. He seems very sorry for the bad times he gave you, and he wants to make it up to you.
Well, I've got to hand it to him. He's even got you fooled. Good old Elsie, what she doesn't know about men, you can write on the head of a
Look,
pin.
I'm trying to keep an open mind until I know the whole truth.
I've told you the truth.
And so is he, and the two sides don't quite fit.
And you believe a complete stranger against an old friend? That is charming.
Oh, come on. In the long run, it isn't me that matters what I think. It's you. You and him. It's your marriage. It's you two that have got to sort it out.
There's nothing to sort out. It is over.
Oh, well, he doesn't seem to think that way. And he's coming back tonight to convince you otherwise.
Well, I won't be here. I don't want to see him.
I think you better had be, lady, because he's staying put until you do.
Well, I suppose I should congratulate you.
What? Is it on?
All cut and dried.
Well, that is fantastic. Thanks, mate. That's marvellous.
Well, don't thank me. All I did was deliver the message.
Yeah, and the rest. Right word and a few lug holes, you know. It's not what you know, it's who you know, innit?
The council decision was all above board. Everything I did was out in the open. I made no secret about my involvement.
All the same, Alf, I do rather wish that you had not lent your weight to the proposal. Apart from personal inconvenience, it is bound to hit our trade in here.
Rubbish, Mrs. Walker. I keep telling you. We will attract a completely different trade.
Yeah, young and trendy like what you don't get in here, Mr. Walker, apart from yours truly, that is.
Hey, well, congratulations, Mr. Baldwin. I expect you'll be celebrating now, won't you?
I'll be celebrating when you and your little band of sisters are making those machines hum.
Well, I'm very pleased for you, Mr. Baldwin. I'm sure it'll be a big success.
Thank you very much, Hilda. What would you like to drink? No, I'll tell you what, this calls for drinks all round.
You're not going to be the only one that's upset, Mrs. Walker. I mean, what about Ken? How's he going to take it?
I'm sorry, love. You did your best.
Did I, though?
Of course you did. What more could you have done?
There's always something more. That extra ounce that just tips the scales.
Ken, you put up a great fight. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, but he won.
He didn't win last time, though, did he? Or maybe you think he did.
No. That time, he was definitely the loser. Come here.
How's that? Bang on time.
It's the only way to be. Right. Have you got any news for me?
I have, my friend, and it is all good. We are in.
I never doubted it.
Well, I did. Especially when old Barlow started sticking his nose in.
Minnow in a big pond, out of his depth. He should stick to campaigning for more plasticine for his playgroups.
He's harmless. He knows his stuff.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Let him stick to his stuff and leave the big games to the big boys. Right, are you ready to take some notes, then?
Well done. Nice one. I'd like to wish the new enterprise every success.
It's not the impression I got when you had a go at our friendly local councillor.
Ah, yeah, well, he gets a bit puffed up with his own importance, doesn't he? Needs taking down a peg or two. Nothing personal against you, Michael. I've had a look at the premises, very promising.
Glad you like them.
Yeah, it's a bit about the outside walls, though, isn't it? You know, all the graffiti spoils the appearance. I mean, you do need an image, you know.
So?
Well, what if somebody offers to clean it up for you?
How much?
Now, there's a man after my own heart.
Hang about. We're spending a fortune on the inside, right?
Well, it'll make the national debt look like petty cash.
Well, now it's time to cut a few corners. We won't spend a penny on the outside. Leave it as it is. Call it, the Graffiti Club. And hey, presto, those vandals have done us a king-size favour.
The Graffiti Club. I like it. I like it. It's catchy. It's different.
It's cheap. Thank you, Edward. Without your help, I may never have thought of it.
How's it going, kid?
All right. And Mrs. Banks dropped a key in and said, would you not forget to go around and fix a sink in the morning?
Yeah, of course, I promised the old dear, didn't I? And I've just told Harry Whitworth I'll take him over to Lee tomorrow morning to have a look at a shop that he's interested in buying.
It's just a leak, isn't it? The sink.
Yeah, she says she can't turn her tap off.
I could do that if you want. Probably only a washer, innit?
Could you? Yeah, of course you could.
The thing is, Mr. Fairclough, I don't want to push myself, and I know there's a lot to learn, but there are things I can do.
I've got to learn to trust you, is that what you're trying to say?
If I'm to be any use.
Yeah, you're dead right, of course. It's a long time since I've had a second in command in the yard here, you know. I mean, the last one was Sharon, and she's a bit different. Yes, I've got to learn to delegate again.
I hope so.
Right, then. OK, but no tower blocks. Not this week, anyway.
Is this the place? Yeah. Glad we caught you, chum. Have you heard the news?
I've heard now.
We're in business. The club's on.
Oh, great! Congratulations! That's the best news I've heard all week. Hey, does anybody want a drink? I've got a bottle in here somewhere.
Hang on a minute. Business first. How long do you reckon it'll take you to get started? You're in.
Not to put too fine a point on it, can you handle your end of it?
Now, what kind of a question's that?
Now, look, don't lose...
Well, there's a lot of cash at stake here, Fairclough. We can't afford to waste time or money employing duff contractors.
Hey, now, just a minute, friend.
All I'm saying is, thought you'd a bigger operation.
Bigger is best, is that it?
Oh, decent-sized firms often more reliable. One man's off sick, for instance. It doesn't throw the old project out of kilter.
Look, we may not be wimpies, but we know our stuff. And we're willing to work 24 hours round the clock to prove it. Me and my young oppo there are more than capable of doing this job. And on time, and to your specifications. Right, son?
Definitely, Mr. Fairclough.
Does that answer your question, Mr. Yardley?
Fair enough.
Right, let's have this drink.
Well, I'm off. I'll leave you two to it.
Where are you going?
Well, I promised Gail I'd pop over.
Elsie, don't go.
Oh, don't be so daft. You don't want me to stand here and hold your hand, do you? Come on, you're both grown up. You were grown up enough to fall in love and get married, weren't you? And I'm sure you don't want me standing here as referee to sort out your affairs. Look, I love you and leave you. Hey, and madam, don't let that red-headed temper of yours take control.
Well?
I've missed you, Angel.
Oh, you noticed I'd gone then, did you?
Oh, don't be like that.
Like what?
All hard and bitter.
If I am, we both know why, don't we?
Well, haven't I got cause to be if I felt that way inclined? You disappear. You walk out without even leaving a note.
I thought it was the best way, make a clean break.
But I didn't want a clean break. I didn't want any kind of break. I want you to come back with me, to be the way we were.
It's the way we were that drove me away, Terry.
It wasn't like that at the start.
But that didn't last long, did it?
It can be like that again. We can, Angel.
Don't do that, and don't call me that.
Oh, please come back with me, Susie. It'll be different this time, I promise.
I've heard your promises before, Terry. Look, please, just go. We know it was a mistake. Please just call it quits, eh?
No way.
I'm not coming back with you, Terry. It's over, and that's final.
I can see I'll just have to try a bit harder to convince you then, won't I?
Yeah, thanks, anyway.
OK, love it.
What's happened? Well, he's just arrived and I left him to it. I made an excuse I was popping over to see Gail.
Didn't you want you to stop with her?
Oh, she did.
Doesn't sound like Susie, that needing moral support. He must be a right Sarah-way.
Oh, I'm not sure. Elsie, I've told him I'm sorry.
Oh, don't worry. Secret's safe with me. It wouldn't have been the other way round, though.
What secret? Whose?
Mike Baldwin's.
All right. What, has he found himself another lady friend?
He's had official permission to open the discotheque.
Well, I could have told you that. That's no secret.
The name is, though, innit, Hilda? Oh, go on. I suppose it's going to come out anyway.
Well, I am a future employee. Go on.
The Graffiti Club.
The what?
Graffiti!
He can't call it that. It's rude.
I'm truly sorry, Ken. Not just on my own behalf, but for all the sterling work you put in. How the council could be so stupid.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Walker. So, we've lost a battle. That doesn't mean we've lost the war.
Right, what else can you do now?
Oh, a lot of things can happen yet, though.
Oh, look, if it does, Owen, I think it'll be a flash in the pan myself. I can't see it doing well. I mean,
Who's going to go to a place like that round here, eh?
A lot of people, Betty.
Oh?
Otherwise, we wouldn't be spending that sort of money.
Yeah, that's what it all boils down to for you, isn't it? Money.
Me and everybody else, darling.
Yeah, that's just where you're wrong. Some men aren't motivated just for selfish reasons.
All right, leave it alone.
Hey, Mr. Baldwin, you'll never guess what Eddie's just tried to tell me you're calling the new club. The graffiti.
That's right.
Oh, yes, well, very nice, very trendy. I'm sure it'll catch on.
It's gone then, has he? Sorted something out, have you? Hey, Susie, madam, I'm talking to you. Oh, my God.
I said I needed you to hold me back. Oh, please
Shh, baby, shush. Shush.
Don't forget, you can discover more about many of the Granada Plus personalities, including the Coronation Street stars, by visiting our website at www.gplus.co.uk. After the break in Emmerdale, will the fireplace at the mill reveal a gruesome secret?